Hello. Oh, hold on, let me turn Spotify off. Hello, guys. Sorry I'm so fucking late. I meant to get food ready ahead of time, like I usually do. But I was playing Final Fantasy 14 because the new patch just dropped today. So I was like, oh, I'll do a little bit of that, and then I'll prep food before stream. And then time got away from me. So here we are. Let me get the game on the screen, and then we can start. Hello, is Clown Hours not working again? I thought I fixed that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Window. Paper Perjury. Did that not do it, or is it the other one? Hello? Hold on. Why is it not? Gotta love it. It's detecting my capture card. Okay, so capture card's capturing it. Then why is it not coming up on the thing? I thought I would go to here, and then I do this one. What if I re-add the capture card? Maybe that's it. Maybe I just need to re-add the capture card and everything will be fine. Okay, so if I then get rid of this, and then I re-add it. Gotta love when I start a new game. It just, oh, there you go. I literally just had to re-add it. Okay. Give me 1 second to fucking fix it. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, there we go. There we go. And then just do this. And okay, are we in business? Are we in business chat? And then I'm just gonna just adjust this. Alright, I think we're in business chat. Took a while, but we're here. Alrighty, I'm excited for today. We're playing Paper Perjury. I know I've been doing Indiana Jones on Tuesdays as well as Saturdays, but I figured, you know what, I kind of want to mix it up a little bit. Plus, I want to try this game out because it looked really cool. From what I've briefly researched, it's Ace Attorney-esque in the sense that you like kind of do like pressing statements and presenting things to like point out contradictions. But instead of being like a lawyer, I think, I could be wrong, but I think you work at the front desk of a police station. So that'll be very interesting, because I think so far with Ace Attorney, and I remember back when we played Tyrion Cuthbert, you played as an attorney. I think this is the first Ace Attorney-esque game where you don't play as an attorney unless I'm wrong. But we'll see. But first impressions, I really like the art style. I did see an option here where it's self-voice. Not 100% sure what that means because there's standard clipboard and then mute all. So does that... I'm wondering if that means that there's an option for the voice, for the lines to be voiced or not, or if that means something totally different. But we'll see. And then skip, unseen text, after choices, and transition. I don't know what the skip is. But, I mean, we'll see. I feel like the settings will make more sense as we play it. I also do have my food. So if I turn away for a bit, I'm probably nomming on the food. Got some chicken parm right here, which took so long, I had to be late for stream. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. Start. Okay. Oh, case 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, okay. Alright, so these are like the cases. I'm curious as why case 5 has flowers in them. I'm wondering if that's some sort of story significance, or if it's just there because it looks nice. It is weird that the flowers are in the vase, but I feel like that'll just make more sense. I did also read like a review where it's like the cases are related to each other, which will be interesting. Let's go ahead and just dive in. Does this go away? Or I wonder if this goes away at some point. Okay, paper perjury is a work of fiction. April 16th, unknown. Okay, so the lines aren't voiced. What if I press V to disable? This is Detective Ernest Hunt's office. I'm away from the office. Please leave a message. Detective, this is Chandra Lear, the witness from yesterday. I lied yesterday. There's more going on than I was letting on. Can I? What does clipboard mean? Clipboard voicing enabled? Wait, hold on, does this? I made a terrible mistake and I need your protection. Okay, and then what happens if I do standard? I think my... Oh, she's dead, isn't she? Chandra, please forgive me. I mean, there's not really any blood. She looks very peaceful, but this does remind me of, not to bring it back to Ace Attorney, but this reminds me of like the first case when you see the victim lying on the floor. I feel like this is a very similar pose. I wonder if that's intentional or not. April 16th, 8 a.m., Azure City Police Precinct 5, Station Lobby. Okay, so this is the day that Chandra presumably died. This is my first real job. As a clerk. Okay, so she is like a clerk. Okay. Okay, oh, mute all mutes everything. Oh, so they're all... My name is Justina Smith. I'm a newly hired police clerk, working as Azure City's 5th police precinct. I mean, she's looking sharp for her first day. Let's go, suit. Though when I told my parents, he seemed to think I was signing on as a cop. I'd rather avoid that sort of dangerous life. I'm more than content in just doing paperwork. Oh, something tells me that she'll end up doing cop stuff anyway. I'd rather avoid that sort of dangerous life. I'm more than content just doing paperwork. Oh, fuck! Okay, can I? Okay, here we go. I didn't mean to skip all that. Not that I'm afraid of action. Everyone always says I'm too headstrong. Still, I'm really nervous. Stay calm, Justina. All you have to do is do your job well, keep your head low. Here we go. Wait, where am I supposed to go? Maybe there's someone around here I can ask. Excuse me, sir. Sorry, miss, I'm in a hurry. Okay, gotcha. Thank goodness for the history. Okay, I'm just gonna leave these at like... When this is enabled, the music is slightly lower. Which is interesting. Wait, I work here. I mean, well, today's my first day. I'm here for the clerk role. Oh, in that case, I'm Detective Ernest Hunt. Okay, the guy that she was calling. Unfortunately, that's about all the pleasantries I can give right now. Something important just occurred. I need to get going. Miss Earl, our senior clerk, is here. Go speak with her for your assignment. Your station should be in the back. Time's a ticking. Gotta run. Geez, someone's in a hurry. I mean, he's presumably a cop. He probably has, like, important things to do. Well, at least I know where my desk is now. Time to meet my supervisor. You can now view the profiles of the people you met during cases. Your collector profiles can be found in your case file. Okay. We got our ID. 22, green eyes, brown hair. And then Ernest Hunt. A detective working at Azure City's 5th Police Precinct. I'm not a fan of his coat. God damn. Excuse me, I'm looking for Miss Earl. If you're here to speak with an officer, please wait in the lobby. What? Oh no, I'm not a civilian. Well, maybe I am. Does an office job here make me a civilian? Office job. Can I see some ID? ID. I think you brought that with you. Hold up. You collected evidence at any time by checking the case file screen. To present evidence, select a piece of evidence from the list on the right, then present the present button to show it. I just have to remember which pocket I stuck it in. Here you go. Present. Perfect. You're the new girl. I'm Sue P. Earl. Welcome to your new office. I'm Justina Smith. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm the head, and before today, the only clerk here at this branch. However, this is not the time for chit-chat. Today's a busy day, and we need you working right away. There's a police report from yesterday that I need you to file. Something came up recently that requires my full attention. I trust you can handle a simple filing job. Yes, ma'am. Make sure all the information matches up correctly. Once you're done, let me know. I want to know why everyone's in a rush, but I can ask you about it later. Right now, I need to get to work. Well, it's about as basic as a workstation can be. So much for getting trained. Hopefully I can figure this out myself. I've worked some trial by fire jobs. Let's see here. There's the detective summary, a witness statement, and a couple pieces of evidence. Thieves' path. Footprints found at the crime scene indicate the thief walked calmly towards and away from the safe. Window. The window the thief entered from. Locks from the inside only. Safe. Money from the Klaus orphanage. Not an orphanage. Who the fuck steals from an orphanage? Money for the Klaus orphanage was stolen there. Half of it was stolen. No evidence of tampering. Wait, why only steal half? Okay, first of all, why steal from an orphanage? Second of all, why only steal half? Case summary updated. You can now access the summary section of the case file. The summary section contains the detective's briefs on the case, as well as a log of what you've accomplished during the case. Done and done. Looks like everything's here. Let's see. I should look over everything real quick before I file them. Now for the witness statement. Good thing the detective recorded it. The witness from earlier. The camera's on. We can begin when you're ready. Hey, that sounds like the detective I spoke to earlier. This must be his case then. Can you provide your name and occupation for the record? Certainly. I'm Chandelier. Oh my god, her name is Chandelier. I work as a maid at the Eubank Estate. I appreciate the cooperation. Now, can you describe the events that took place earlier? Of course. Oh, okay, we're in it. Okay. I was cleaning the hallway when I heard a noise coming from this room. I went inside, saw someone taking money out of the safe. I couldn't get a good look at his face, but it was clearly a 6-foot-tall man carrying lockpicks. When he saw me, he took some of the money and ran to the window to make his escape. I couldn't catch him, so I checked the safe. Half the money inside was stolen. Called the police to report the crime shortly afterwards. I see. Seems to me it's a simple robbery. Wait just a second. Something about what she said seems off. Did she just lie? You can look over her statement again. I'm sure there's a problem somewhere. When I find a line I think has the problem, I can press the dispute button to present evidence. Submitting is as easy as clicking present on the evidence that contradicts the statement. I won't leave this computer until I find a contradiction. What? House robbery. Oh, I can only present? Okay. Clean the hallway, noise the noise coming from... Oh, okay. How do I... Coming from this room. I went inside, saw someone taking money out of the safe. I couldn't get a good look at his face. Clearly a 6-foot-tall man carrying lockpicks. Saw me, took some money, and ran to the window, making his escape. Couldn't catch him, so I checked the safe. Half the money. Okay, so ID. No evidence of tampering. Oh, wait, hold up. So the thief walked calmly to and from the safe, but she's saying that the thief ran, which is not calm at all, at least in my expert opinion. So I think it's this one, because she's saying he ran, and then this insinuates that he was calmly walking away. She just said the thief ran, but the evidence showed the thief calmly walked as if he wasn't afraid of being caught. Why would she lie about that? I shall let Miss Earl know what I found. Is this our job? Thank you for the hydrate and posture check. I appreciate it. Miss Earl? What is it? It's the witness's statement. It doesn't add up. I was reviewing the case file and I think she lied. She told the detective that the thief ran in a hurry, but the evidence seemed to indicate the opposite, that the thief had walked calmly. Let me see that file. I see. I think you're right. The police need to speak of Miss Lear again. She clearly didn't see the thief. Sorry to say, that would be impossible. Impossible? Why? About an hour ago, we got a call from the Eubank estate. The thief returned this morning, and this time he attempted to take Miss Lear's life. Wait, attempted? What? Thankfully, she survived, but she's currently in a coma with life-threatening head injury. Around the time you showed up, our lead detective went to investigate. I've been processing the paperwork over the call. Lead detective? You mean Detective Hunt? I see you've already met. Yes, that's him. So what do we do now? We'll call the detective and inform him he can decide what to do next. Until then, keep Miss Lear's statement with you. You might need it later. Ooh, I like this music. But why would the thief return to the scene of the crime? There has to be more to it. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I think I'll speak to the detective when he gets back. I think it was like an inside job. Like, okay, early theory. Chandra stole the money because it was an inside job, but she did because she was working for somebody within the estate. And then when she called the detective, it was her trying to come clean, but whoever she was working with overheard and killed her because they didn't want her to talk, or at least try to kill her. Okay, statement. Miss Lear lied about the thief running towards a window to escape. She claimed the thief was a tall man holding lockpicks. Okay. 10:47 a.m. in the precinct. Detective Hunt has returned. I hope my tip helped him. Excuse me, Detective Hunt? I'm busy, right? Hold on. You're that new girl, right? The one Miss Earl told me found that clue. Yes, I'm Justina Smith, sure. Looks like our newest member already wants to be out on the front lines. You must understand, sure. Staying in front of armed criminals is not what I signed up for. In any case, maybe you can help me. Help you how? I also like how like the laugh sound of there's like a laugh sound effect, but it's kind of like 8-bit to match the pixeliness. I could use your help getting a confession from our thief. Follow me to the interrogation room. Oh wait, what? And he's gone. How on earth am I supposed to help him? Is this in our job description? Because the paperwork I can see, is this in our job description? Is this outlined in our did we sign a contract saying we do this? Because if we're gonna be a cop, we should ask for a pay raise. Okay, viewing room. Here you are, the chief wants us to start the interrogation right away. Hold on a minute, give me that raise. I'm a police clerk. What exactly do you want me to do? Write down everything you say? No, I want you to help me interrogate the suspect. Interrogate? I don't know how to interrogate somebody. You're a police officer. How do you not know how to interrogate? Did we tell him we're a clerk? Because I'm not a police officer. I was hired to do paperwork. Paperwork is the true life of a police officer. You'll be... Oh my god, we're trying to tell this man, no, we are a clerk. A clerk. He's like, ah, yes, every officer should know how to clerk. Oh my fucking god. Is this legal? I'm not sure if this is legal. Because don't you have to, like, go to the police academy to be a cop? But I feel a little underqualified to be in charge of interrogation. Thank you. I'm the one in charge. You're here to help. Besides, you're young. You being there might make the suspect lower the guard. Well, I guess I'll help as much as I can. All you need to do is listen to their statements, and if you find a flaw, point it out. Exactly the same as what you did on the computer. But what are their statements perfect? As long as the suspect's hiding something, there'll always be a flaw somewhere. You'll have to find those flaws until the truth comes out. You sound like you expect the suspect to lie. I do, and you should too. Sometimes the flaw might not be immediate, obvious. You can question the suspect to ask for more information. It might reveal some additional information that could be helpful. Right, so I question the suspect if I want a clarification. I dispute when I find a flaw. Okay, so it's like present and press. Okay. Got it. See, you're a natural interrogator. We need an ironclad confession, so we need to find all the flaws of the suspect's statement. Easier said than done. Wait, am I even allowed to go in there? Save any further questions for the suspect. I'm like, hey, are we qualified to do this? Oh yeah, no, you'll be fine. He sure is impatient. Okay. Alright, here goes nothing. This is the inside of the interrogation room. I'm looking out on the police side. Oh my god, it'd be funny if like later on we're accused of something and we have to be in the interrogation room because we're being interrogated. And we refer to this, be like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm on the police's side. Flash forward, it's like, ah, shit. And on the other side, is our thief? I thought the witness said they were male. I mean, I guess the witness did lie, so there's that. Sorry to keep you waiting. I had to grab my assistant. Since when was this assistant? She's new here. Let me catch her up to speed. As part of your arrest, you agreed to completely cooperate with us. And you're going to hold up your end of the deal, right? On my honor as a police officer. And Furies better open themselves to the greatest plan of the entire criminal underground. Oh, fucking A. Does he think she lied because he thinks she didn't do anything? All she did was go through a window. There's more criminals. How do your enthusiasm? Please state your name for us. I'm the great and cunning Hana Overyor. Hana over... Oh, it's like hand over your. No lie so far. You're doing great. Keep them up. Stop patronizing me. I stole from one of the wealthiest men in the city. And I arrest you for the crime in less than 24 hours, but by all means, keep bragging. No comeback? Let's continue. You're currently only being charged for the crime of larceny, so we... Hold on, what about... All in due time, Mr. Assistant. We have a criminal giving us full confession. That takes priority. What's he getting at? She began the assault too, right? Why is he not charging her for that as well? Hey, who is he calling Miss Assistant? As I was saying, all we need is your official statement. Are you ready, Miss Assistant? Ready as I'll ever be. And Miss Yor, you begin any time. Alright, let's expose her lies. Our theft I am proud of. Around 4:30 p.m. I snuck into the Eubank estate. I spotted the safe. It's inside stuffed with treasure. I used my trusty lockpick to open up the window, and I made my way inside. I poked for the safe for its contents, grabbing about half of the money inside. Can't believe it took the entire day to find me. I thought the police were better than that. Hey, sir. Something wrong, Miss Assistant? Your statement seems off. If you think there's a problem, go ahead and find it. My job as a mentor is to ensure you do it correctly. But you're not my... Ha! The eye roll. Oh, never mind. I'll do it myself. If we're focusing on her first crime, then attempted murder can be ignored. Alright. I'm not 100% sure what it is, so I'm just gonna question everything. How did you get into the estate? That was the easiest part. I broke in through the front gate. She just walked in broad daylight. Wouldn't she be worried about being seen? I spotted the safe. Its inside were stuffed with treasure. Treasure? All that's in there was money. Have you ever heard of poetic license? Obviously that was a treasure. I pulled off great heist. It deserves some added flair. Is it really the greatest heist to get caught the next day? Because she locked me to open the window and I made my way inside. Lockpicks? Every thief carries a set of lockpicks with them. I need them for the heist. I keep mine in my hair. I thought those were just hairpins. Hang on. Why did Detective later bring lockpicks in here? I prefer. That is a good question. Why the detective was like, yeah, no, you can bring lockpicks. Profile the safe with its contents, grab it out half the money inside. Why do you only grab half the money? What do you want to grab all of it? I was in a hurry. May spotted me, so I need to make my escape. Okay, so she was in a rush, but this is going back to the footprints, right? Where the footprints showed the thief was calm. So confront. If you're really in such a hurry, why does the evidence show that you walked back to the window? We're a fast walker. That's ridiculous. What do you want me to say? That's the truth. Detective, make her talk. Unfortunately, I can't do that. We can't really disprove her claim here. I said you look for something more solid. I don't think it's gonna get me anywhere. Better move on. Okay. Question. You don't seem upset over the fact you got caught. What do you have to be upset about? I saw for the Eubanks themselves. Not everyone know about the great and dashing thief Hana over your. What is that gonna do now that you've been caught? Okay. So, no new statements or anything. Okay. Let's make a save point. Oh no, I don't want to go back to the main menu. Okay, so it's not the footprints. Unlocks only, stocks from the inside only. No evidence of tampering. Calm man holding lockpicks. So do we present the statement on here? Miss Lear testified the robber is a 6-foot-tall man. But you don't match the description at all. So I'm the one confessing here. I don't know why she said what she did. I'm still the thief. Detective, we really have the wrong suspect. The real thief is still out there. I assure you this is our thief. Focus on the promise of your statement. We can worry about Miss Lear later. This doesn't contradict your statement. Better find something more concrete. Okay. Anything about... to open the window. About half the money. Can't believe it took an entire day. Yeah, it was an entire day. Wait, if it locks from the inside... If it locks from the inside, would she be able to use lockpicks on it? I don't know how lockpicking works, so maybe that's it? Miss Yor, you couldn't have opened the window. The window in the room only opens from the inside. No lockpicks can get you around that. We did it! I wasn't sure that was it because I didn't know how lockpicks work. Because I'm a lawful citizen. I can explain. You see, the weather's really warm that day. The maid opened up, but you said you used lockpicks. I just got the details mixed up. Let me explain. Alright, we have more statements. Kind of over your statement. A theft I'm proud of, part 2. When I snuck in the estate, the window was already open. When I snuck into the estate, the window was already open. Oh. The window's already open. So I simply climbed in. That's when I spotted the safe. I used my trusty tools to open the safe. I just mixed up the window and the safe. Surely I won't talk about trust or confession now. That's the thing, we can't. That's why it's up to you to find the flaws in it. Well, if I can't find anything, you should be the one handling this. He's laughing. You'll find it. I believe in you. Real helpful. I think I know what it is. I'm still going to question just to be on the safe side. A likely story. Do you have any proof it was open? My proof is that I say it was open. That's not proof. Besides, what was your plan? The window wasn't open. I tried a different entrance. How could you be so proud of a robbery she didn't even prepare for? So I simply climbed in. That's when I spotted the safe. You just climbed in. What if you got caught? Well, I was feeling lucky. Besides, there's no one in there. But the maid was right outside that room. So I didn't know that. You're the worst thief I've ever heard of. But you have heard of me. Oh my god. Question. Your tools? That's what I said. You mean your lockpicks, right? Maybe, maybe not. A thief never reveals her secrets. Detective, make her give it a straight answer. I think you have all the information you need. What's that supposed to mean? Okay, so I think... Let me question. But I think it's what I was thinking of, because for the safe, it said that there were no signs of tampering. I feel like with tools, you would see signs of tampering. Well, I'm a great thief. I don't remember the specifics of all my heists. Detective, she just admitted to more crimes. That's not the confession you think it is. Either way, we hear about this crime. Let's focus on that. Okay, so she's saying she used the tools on the safe, but if you go to the safe, no evidence of tampering. There we fucking go. Monsieur, how did you open the safe? He said you opened it with your lockpicks, but there's no signs of tampering. It can only be opened with a code. Your tools will be useless. I never said that my tools were my lockpicks. I mean, my greatest tool of all, patience. I just waited for the maid to open up the safe. I robbed it after she left. Wait, what? Monsieur, I doubt both your statements are true. You're just saying that Miss Lear opened both the safe and the window and she just left the room. Yes? Detective, doesn't make any sense. That would have to be the biggest coincidence ever. But not impossible. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to counter her claim right now. Hannah claims that Miss Lear opened the safe in the window before leaving the room. The safe can only be opened through a passcode. I don't know her reasons. I only took advantage of them. What now? Something's wrong with her story. I know there is. There has to be another way to draw out the truth. Monsieur, can you explain the purpose of your lockpicks? You mean these? Well, they pick locks, as the name implies. I just keep them right here for safekeeping. You just said you waited for the maid to open the window in the safe. So then why were you carrying lockpicks? I have a good reason for that. One Miss Tacky Green suit will accept. It's not as tacky as the orange jumpsuit you'll be wearing. Oh, get her. No, this is not the time for colorful quips. Please, Monsieur, tell us your story. Hannah, over your statement. Tools for a great heist. The lockpicks are needed to enter the estate. There's a gate with a padlock. I picked a door to get to the property. I placed my lockpicks in my gear afterwards. I had no need for them once I got to the window. Sure, is she telling the truth about the gates? She is. We found the gate and the lock was picked. Then she's telling the truth. How do we go further? Don't think about her lying. Think more about how the evidence doesn't support the truth. You're the one in charge here. Can't you tell me the answer? True leaders just sit behind desks all day giving orders. I'll look over the statement again. Alright, question. How do you know that you would need lockpicks? I always bring lockpicks with me. You never know when they'll come in handy. Doesn't make sense. She is a thief after all. Now I'm going to be suspicious of anyone wearing hairpins. Gave the padlock that you picked. Why didn't you just tell us this before? You didn't ask. That's not a good reason. You're supposed to be confessing. You're the one asking the questions. Maybe you're just bad at your job. This isn't even my job. I'm just a clerk. I placed my lockpicks in my hair afterwards. Why did you put your lockpicks away? What if you needed them? Why would I? The safe and the window were open. Plus, I needed my hands free to grab the money. So you didn't take your lockpicks at all after entering the room? Nope, not even once. Thank you, let's carry on. No need for them once I got to the window. That's quite the coincidence. The maid opening both the window and the safe. How would your plan even work if she didn't? I would have improvised. I had all the tools I needed. Just so happened that my greatest tool of all was my luck. How would you have gotten into the safe if she hadn't opened it? I had my lockpicks and a backup. But the safe doesn't have a hole to put the lockpicks in. Yeah, well, I didn't know that. It doesn't matter because the maid opened it for me. Let's move on before the steam starts coming down my ears. Okay, so I think it's at this where it's like I placed my lockpicks in my hair afterwards. Because according to the maid's statement, she saw someone holding lockpicks. Miss Yor, did you know Miss Lear gave a recorded statement? So, in her statement, she said the thief was a 6-foot-tall man and had lockpicks. Her description of you was wrong, but there was one key detail about you she mentioned, that you had lockpicks. If she only saw you during your escape, she would have only seen them as hairpins. Something happened in that room, and it wasn't a simple robbery. I can explain. No, please allow me. Earlier today, I saw the footprints you left in that room showed you walking away from the safe. Normally, I would expect a thief like yourself to simply run away. One possibility is that she lied about seeing you. However, if she knew about the lockpicks, she clearly had seen you. Maybe she saw that I picked the lock of the gate in order to get on the property. We only found that lock after we arrived and interviewed her. Miss Assistant, do you know why Miss Lear was in a room for a thief? Normally I expect a thief like you. Footprints you left in that room showed you walking away from the safe. But a thief like you just simply run away. One possibility is she lied about seeing you. Ooh. There's never... Well, there was a robbery because money was stolen. The two knew each other? Maybe the two knew each other because they were working together? The whole time you say you only want to confess to get a plea deal. That was never the reason. This is all meant to hide a relationship with Miss Lear. That's exactly it. After getting your tip on the footprints, I came to a conclusion. The thief must have been someone Miss Lear knew. So I asked the Eubank family about her friends and your name came up. Getting your bank records was the hard part, but that's how I proved you were the thief. How do you get your bank records? I have my connections. It's called a subpoena. Anyway, it's clear that you hid your relationship to keep Miss Lear from being arrested as well. The two of you working together. Ah, you're mistaken. If we were working together, wouldn't you just let me through the front door? She wouldn't even need me. She could have just robbed the safe herself. I think my sister can explain that, can you? Why did the two of them stage a robbery as they did? They were in a rush. Front door is not possible. Miss Lear could not leave the estate. They want a thief to know. Why would Miss Lear not be able to leave the estate? Maybe they wanted the police to know a thief stole the money? Correct again! And we did get involved, so their plan at that point was successful. They knew the money being stolen would make the news. If Miss Lear says a male thief stole the money, it would throw our investigation off. We trust Miss Lear, of course. So unless you want us to throw the full extent of the law at you, we need your real confession now. Oh, she's sweating. You win. I'm no great thief. Your robbery may have been very great, but you did try to steal away the truth. Oh my god. I can't believe you. How do you crack jokes at a time like this? Lighten up, Miss Assistant. We won the round. We can have some fun now. You haven't taken this seriously at any point. Miss Yor, we have a few questions to ask now. Don't you already know everything? Just throw me in a jail cell. I don't think you were stealing based out of greed. If you were, why would you only take half the money? So I want you to offer you a chance to tell us why you stole the money. You know what the money in the safe was used for, right? It was charity money, but I don't know which charity it was for. It's a charity run by the Eubank estate. They raise money for a local orphanage. I have to say, stealing money from orphans isn't painting in the best light, right? Every year, Miss Eubank raises money for the charity, but it's been lying about how much he receives. The amount they raise and the amount that goes to charity are different. Chandra helped with the fundraising, and she figured out that there was discrepancy. Hold on. If he was wealthy enough to have a charity, why is he stealing money from it? Hold on, Miss Assistant. None of this is proven. She lied once already. We have to take the rest with a grain of salt. Still, why would he keep the charity money in a safe? Wouldn't a bank account be safer? Banks keep records. If he was ever audited, the records will reveal what he did. The Eubanks own one of the largest investment firms in the country. They know how to avoid leaving any paper trails. Why would he give Miss Lear the code to the safe? Well, I don't know. Chandra never really told me. So why did the two of you get involved? Chandra couldn't accept what was going on. She told me about what she found and what her plan was, so I agreed to help her. And what were you planning to do with the money after you stole it? Well, we didn't figure that part out. We didn't expect to get caught so quickly. You know, if you told me you had planned to anonymously donate the money, I could always respect this little plan. Regardless, we'll still have to charge you. Thank you for the head pat, Zale. Hope you're doing well. Charge me, but please, at least let Chandra off with a lighter sentence. I was the one who stole the money. All she did was open the window in the safe. I know you'll go arrest her after this, but you have to understand that. Oh, she doesn't know about the assault. She doesn't know! You have a good lurk, Zale. How's all this fucking face? I'm sorry, Monsieur. We have some bad news. We got a call from Eubank Estate this morning. Miss Lear was attacked and is in critical condition. No, you're joking, right? You're trying to get me to say more. Well, you've been charged with larceny. I'm afraid pending further investigation, you're also being held under arrest for attempted murder. What? No, why would I try to kill Sandra? We're best friends. I never hurt her. I believe you, but we don't have any choice right now. You'll be detained here until further notice. I can assure you, however, that your cooperation won't go unnoticed. You have the legal right to a public defender in case your case goes to court. The helpful lawyer! Why do you hide this from me until now? Did you want to see me struggle? You're evil, the both of you! Everything you say about the cops in the city, you corrupt, heartless monsters? I'm sorry, but it'd be your best interest if you didn't speak to us further about a lawyer. The two of us would be best be going now. I wish I could do more for you, Hana. My apologies, Miss Smith. That wasn't something I planned on having you see. Neither did I. Wait a second, you actually used my name? You're hereby free from being my assistant. You can go back to your noble duties. If it means anything, you certainly did well back there. If you already knew everything, why do you need me in the first place? When Mr. Old told me how you found that clue, I just want to test your critical thinking skills. Looks like I was right to test you. You solved this case like a pro. Hope you didn't mind me having a bit of fun in there. Given how things ended, I wouldn't call any of that fun. I know. She meant most of that for me, not you. Either way, I don't want you to have to face any more of that because of me. Oh. So what are you gonna do now? Her best friend nearly died, and she's our #1 suspect. I'm going back to the crime scene to try to clear her name, so if you'll excuse me. Hold it! Oh my god. We need the Ace Attorney to hold it. I never agreed to stop being your assistant. Hana just said something I want to see for myself. I might not be a police officer, but please take me with you. I think I borrowed you from Miss Earl long enough. Keeping you away would only anger her and risk your job. Do you really think I'm that quick to boil? Oh, Miss Earl, wait, how much did you hear? Enough to have an opinion on the matter. Ernest, take her with you. If you think she can help solve the case, it'd be foolish to not even let her see the crime scene. I'll make sure Hana is treated well until you stop the case. Are you sure? What about Justina's duties here? Her paperwork can wait. She can always work overtime. You just want me to stay overtime on my first day? Will you rather just stay here and miss all the fun? Alright, deal, I'll go. Good. Do look after her, Ernest. It's still only her first day. Yeah, absolutely. Well then, Miss Assistant, are you ready to go? Sir, yes, sir. Perfect. Here's the keys. I'll show you to the car. Wait, you want me to drive? Of course, the assistant always drives. Besides, it's a good test of your driving skills. You never know when you might be in a highway chase. Follow me. That was how my relationship with Detective Hunt began. Relationship? Hold on a second. I went from a desk job to field work in a matter of hours, all because of one simple contradiction. Little did I know how much a single case is going to change my life forever. End of case 1. Hell yeah. Alrighty, case 1 done. Let's just jump right into case 2. That was a quick case, but it's probably only because it's the first case. After solving the mystery behind the robbery, there we go. After solving the mystery behind the robbery, we left for the Eubank estate to find out why Miss Lear was attacked. All the while, my new detective friend was telling me the details of how he found Miss Yor. We arrived just as he finished. April 16th, 12:20 p.m. Okay, outside the Eubank estate. And then I brought her to the interrogation room before you joined the fun. You know the rest. We left that room with Hana, claiming we're awful people. I wouldn't consider any of that fun. Regardless, it's all the more reason for us to prove her innocence. Then, who attacked Chandra? You know, positive in the Eubank family, right? I have a few ideas, but a good detective avoids becoming tunnel vision. Sorry, I'm just turning this down a little bit. It's important to have a fresh perspective on these things. And that's where I come in. Precisely. You catch on quick. So what do we do now? Now comes the fun part of being a detective. Investigating. Seeing as this is your first investigation, would you like me to run you through the basics? Yeah, sure. Alright, it's pretty simple. Each time we come across an area to examine, we have a few different options. The first option is to look around for clues. We can investigate the immediate area for any details that stick out. Doing so is the best way for us to find evidence, which we can then use in our investigation. Second, we may come across witnesses. When we do so, it's important for us to collect their statement. This is similar to what suspects give during interrogations, but this time we simply take their word and write them down for later. You might find that some witnesses aren't entirely truthful in their statements. When this happens, we can review their statement and point out their contradictions, just like we do in the interrogation room. Not everyone will have a flaw in their statement, however, so don't go running around accusing people without a reason. In addition to our statements, we can also just talk to the witness. Doing so is another good way to uncover information. Finally, once we're ready to move on, we can travel to another area. We have free reign of the house, so we can move around as we like. Whenever you want to talk to me, we can come back here. I have more to say as the case unfolds. Come back every once in a while to hear more. Now then, let's get started. Okay, you can now track your current lead to the summary section of the case file. Let's investigate. Oh, okay. Window. I see an open window up there. Why would you want to keep the window open? It's such a cool day. We'll have to take a closer look at it once we're inside. Alright, and then door. For a wealthy family, this house seems less grand than I expect. What did you expect? A luxurious palace the size of a stadium? Home price already going up far faster than most wages. This is so prime real estate. At least they keep their home modest rather than driving up the prices even further. I suppose so. And police car? So, how's my driving? You never drove above the speed limit. You even dipped 5 below on the freeway. I was driving a police car. How do you set a good example? You know, studies show that slower drivers cause more accidents than faster ones. Really? I guess I'll look that up later. And back. Talk? Hana Yor. I'm still not sure about Hana's story. Why would the Eubanks want to steal charity money? I can think of a number of reasons. I'm sure she's telling the truth. Whatever happened to she lied once already, we have to take the rest of a grain of salt. That was Detective Hunt speaking. Ernest Hunt says she's innocent. But don't you have your doubts? Yeah, I have my doubts. Still, I believe her. I don't think any actor could fake that anger she had. It did feel real. It'd be so much easier if this is all an accident. Blame it on bad luck. Alright, let's travel to the foyer. Wow, this place is much more impressive on the inside. Don't get too distracted by the lion's den before meeting the lion itself. I prefer hummingbirds and nests myself. After all, they represent optimism and playfulness, traits that we all use in our lives. I see you brought a new guest. Welcome to my home. I'm Ferris Eubank. Oh, I'm Justina Smith. It's a pleasure to meet you. Matt, you are quite nervous. Is that whiskey? Oh, no, that's just tea. I was like, huh? Some tea should help calm those nerves. Care for a cup? No, I would hate to impose. Now, you're a guest at my home. I simply must offer you a drink. And let's save the cup until after we're finished. Fair enough. Now, to what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Oh, I thought you caught the theft early in the morning. We did. That case is already wrapped up with a shiny bow. We're here about the attack on your maid, Miss Lear. Why, I can still hardly believe that Chandra was attacked. Just this morning, she was getting my tea ready, and before I knew it, the police were here. I hope... oh, that tea is on fire! I hope for her sake that you can lock away that wicked thief for what she did. What exactly is in that tea? Your cooperation in this matter is greatly appreciated. Of course, I'll help in any way I can. In that case, we'd like to ask you a few questions. Can you tell me where you were when Miss Lear was attacked? Let me think. Alright, statement. This morning, I was having breakfast in the dining room with the rest of the family. After my husband's finished eating, I stayed by myself in the dining room. You adopted a stray cat yesterday, and so I was feeding him. I was there the whole time until the police came. I believe it was shortly after when Chandra was found. Farah was in the dining room by herself when the police came. She claimed she was there feeding the family's cat. You can all access collected witness statements through the summary menu of the case file. Can anyone verify your whereabouts? Not a soul, I'm afraid. I'm supposed that makes me a suspect. I've awakened. Welcome, little guy. You just missed us. We found out that the maid and her friend stole half of the charity money from their employer, and the maid was attacked. So we're trying to figure out who attacked the maid. Meanwhile, the friend hates us because we're like, "Oh, you're the prime suspect." She's like, "I hate you. Cops suck." That's the brief summary. But yeah, welcome. How was the slumber? Of course not. You don't have a motive. We all want to know where you were. Your partner here seems to have a different idea. Guilty as charged. Here's a tip, Mr. Assistant. Lack of a motive does not mean a lack of guilt. Chandra is family detective. We would never hurt her. And you should have no issue with us looking around to confirm that. Well, you're free to look around. After all, you've already caught the culprit. What's with his attitude? I should have a talk with him outside. Alright, let's investigate first. Plants? Those are some lovely plants. Do you mean the Plantanic brothers? They have names? Why, they're valuable members of our home. Nothing makes you feel more invited than being greeted by the Plantanic brothers. Now why are you keeping them in the corner? Even plants can be shy. They get frightened easily. It's because those are partial shade plants. You can only take so much sunlight. You're no fun, detective. Oh, paintings. Those paintings. Is something wrong? These paintings are so uninspired. The palette's completely dull. What's the point of painting something without any soul creativity? Art is more than just pictures to put on a wall. I didn't know you had such strong art opinions. Thank my parents, they're artists. Staring at art is just second nature to me. Sorry for the rant, I know it's weird. It's not weird at all. A good detective can walk in a room and pinpoint whatever stands out. It just means you have a good pair of eyes. Well, window. That's quite the window. Oh, I just love what the light lets in. It makes all of them feel so alive. It's a bit too grand if you ask me. All that light must be blinding from the stairs. A practical world is never a bad thing, detective. Alright, back. Let's talk. Eubank Investments. Mrs. Eubank, please dear, call me Ferris. Ferris, can you tell me about Eubank Investments? It's an investment firm our family runs. We provide the funds to transform empty land into beautiful destinations. My husband is the founder and CEO. I run the legal department. The whole legal department? Wow. It's hardly that impressive. A single cup of oolong tea is far more complex than anything I do. Don't let our modesty fool you, Mr. Assistant. Eubank Investments has dealings all around Azure City and beyond. It would be impossible for them not to run into a lot of legal issues. I bet you're the life of the party, detective. Well, you don't get to detective on good looks alone. Anyway, it was her who secured the company's first major property development. That success led the company to where it is today. Don't need to flatter me, detective. After all, my husband did all the planning. I just carried out those plans. Excuse me, when was that major investment exactly? I believe it was about a decade ago. I see. I never thought I'd be meeting Mrs. Eubank. I think all that happened 10 years ago. Are you doing alright, dear? If you're feeling tired, perhaps some tea would help. Oh, no, sorry. I was just thinking. I'll just keep my backstory perhaps. If you're hungry, feel free to help yourselves in the kitchen. Some delicious food might ease that mind of yours. We should be heading to the crime scene. We have an investigation to conduct. I should be both places a visit. Alright. I'll travel. Let's go back outside. I want to talk to the detective again. You know, you could have been nicer to our host. She's a suspect in attempted murder. I was only being fair. If I go easy on her, she might take advantage of that kindness. I understand that, but you took it way too far. We shouldn't treat every potential suspect like criminals. I know you mean well, but you haven't met the people I have. We can't afford any risks. Sounds like there's a story there. There is, but that's for another day. I'll hold you to that. Alright. Let's go to the crime scene. Alrighty. It's strange how familiar this room is now. Imagine how I feel coming and going from this room so often. I ought to be paying rent at this point. You have to sell everything you own to afford rent in a place like this. Anyway, what should we... Hold her right... Who's this? This is an active crime scene. Civilians can't just wander around here. Perfect timing. I was wondering where you were. Not the book have an exclamation point.
Red, welcome back. I see you brought a guest.
Miss Assistant, let me introduce you to lead detective Sophie Swift.
Nice to meet ya.
Wait, what do you mean lead detective? I thought you were in charge.
Red handles robberies. I'm the one who handles homicides and attempts at homicides. You must be Justina Smith, correct?
Wait, how do you know that?
I have it written down here. Justina Smith, a clerk working under Sue P. Earl. The chief told us about you last week. He showed us a picture and everything.
Wait, then how come Detective Hunt didn't know me? Why, would you look at the time? I really ought to be going. You forgot, didn't you? Keen as ever, I see. Does he always like this?
For as long as I've known him, he has a good heart, though. Anyway, you should told me you got a confession from the thief.
We got a confession for the robbery, but she didn't attack Chandra. Justina here couldn't bear to see an innocent person accused like that and begged me to bring her here.
Hey, don't listen to him. Well, since you're here, let me give you the rundown.
Alright, we got a statement.
Around 8 o'clock this morning, Miss Leon left a voicemail for Red that seemed to be cut off abruptly. It sounded like someone had attacked her. I was sent over to investigate. I got here about 10 past 8. Mrs. Eubank greeted me on arrival, and we headed towards the trophy room where we believe Chandra may have been. The door was locked tight, so I had to force it open. Chandra was inside unconscious. She had clearly been attacked. I confirmed she was still alive before I transported her to the hospital. I see, so what was the weapon? We haven't found one yet. I was told that she had been hit on the back of the head with a flat and blunt object. We know it must have blood on it given the injury, but everything we've tested so far has come back negative for blood, so we believe the culprit may have taken the weapon with them. I have the medical report right here. Take a look at it.
A report from the hospital. Chandra's being treated at. She suffered a single blunt force wound to the back of the head from a flat object. There are no other injuries present. What if she's still in the house? If it's still in the house, shouldn't we just test everything? Now without reasonable suspicion or a warrant. It'd be ruled inadmissible and thrown out otherwise. Oh my god, Ace Attorney can never. Right now, we only have grounds to test what's around the crime scene. I guess that makes sense. It does make things harder, though. It's a necessary evil. So for now, let's investigate this room. We might find something.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Let's talk. It took me 20 minutes to drive here. How'd you get here so fast?
Believe it or not, I'm the fastest member of the force. If criminals think they can outrun the law, they haven't met Zephyr. Zephyr? That's my ride. Just a standard issue motorcycle with some custom upgrades. I know all the ins and outs of this city. Trust me, whenever there's a murder, I'm the first one there.
Good to know.
So why is Honda the prime suspect in this?
I don't see anything that ties back to her.
Well, there isn't anything direct. But given how the body was found, our best assumption is that the thief had to have returned. We've talked to the chief. He doesn't want us going after the Eubanks. Eubanks have a lot of sway in this city. Unless we had ironclad proof, let's just say the fallout would be enormous. I certainly hate to get on their bad side.
Why do I feel like it's going to be a Eubank?
So with nothing else to go on, our best guess remains the thief.
That's awful. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? That only applies to court of law. The police have much simpler priorities than making an arrest. So until we find the true culprit, Miss Yor is our prime suspect. Why the long face? We're here to prove her innocent. Our system isn't perfect, but it'll work out in the end. Far from perfect. Investigation rights. I'm surprised you don't mind us hijacking your investigation.
Red may seem absent-minded, but he really is dedicated to the core. Even if I try to stop him, he'll still worm his way into this. Besides, he's a better detective. If anyone can solve this case, it's him.
But this is your case. Don't you want to be the one to solve it?
Well, Red has his quirks, but unlike me, he has the actual brains to back it up. Don't be so hard on yourself. I only get in the way, so guarding the crime scene is the best I can do. I got promoted detective last month because I gave the most speeding tickets, not for my investigation skills. Chief just wants me as an example to the other officers and incentive to issue more tickets. Don't put yourself down. I'm sure you're a great detective. We all have our skills. I drive fast, Red finds criminals. I accept that. Well, I haven't. You've been here all morning. You must have uncovered something. Well, there is one thing. The order of which everyone arrived here. First was Mrs. Eubanks. She greeted me at the door and led me here. Then the chef came up. He had a frying pan, so I figured he came for the kitchen. Frying pan. Flat object. After that, Mr. Eubank claimed to have heard his son and rushed downstairs. See, you have the detective's attention to detail. But that's not all. Mr. Eubank's statement is important. Why is that? Well, if he had heard the thud, he must have been close to the crime scene, right? So I think there must have been... He must have been in the room upstairs. What's above this room? The victim's bedroom. That can't be a coincidence. Let's go investigate that room. I couldn't find anything when I looked, but you two might be luckier. Then try again. A second look might be all you need. Red, how long have you been listening? It was about 11 sentences ago. You found a clue. You should find the proof. I'll sit here and watch the scene. You should go. You're way better at this than me. Take my assistant with you. I taught her everything, so we'll be like I'm there in spirit. Like I need your help to look at an object and comment on it. Sure, I'll go with you. I want to be there when you find that proof. I believe in her. Alright, let's do it. Only for the bedroom. I'm leaving the rest of the house to Red. Once you're done collecting evidence, just head to her room. I'll meet you there. Okay, let's investigate this room first. Oh, we got a lot of stuff here. Let's go bottom down. The rug. I'm not a fan of this rug. It doesn't match the carpet at all. It needs more color variety. Green and purple would help it pop more. But it's super fluffy. What I would give to give me a cat and rolled around without a care. It looks fine to me. Says a man who looks like a walking lobster. Be nice. He's been working really hard to infiltrate the crustacean smuggler's ring. You're right. I was being too crabby. When this is over, I'm gonna go shopping for new clothes. Oh my god. Watch the next case. He has a different colored jacket. Safe. Detective, it's a safe for this morning. You mean yesterday? You only saw it this morning from a tape recorder yesterday. Time is just an excuse to display power over others. I learned about it this morning, therefore it only existed since then. We also met this morning, so have I only existed since this morning? Detective, it's a safe from yesterday. This seems to be relevant to our current case. Let's leave it alone. Bedsheet. What's this? Looks like a white bedsheet, but it's covered in a bunch of dirt and grass. Detective Swift, do you know what this is? No idea. It was here when we secured the room. Whoever left it there must have been in a hurry. Well, Chandra was in here. Maybe she was planning on cleaning it when she got attacked. But there's no bed in here, or anything for washing sheets. How did it get this dirty? Strange. I'll record it for later. White bed sheet covered in dirt. It was found stuffed inside a drawer in the trophy room. I wonder what's in here. It looks like a landline, but it's covered in hair? It's cat fur. Red found from yesterday. Cat fur. Are you saying there's a cat in here? Not just any cat, an orange and white Siamese cat. Given how fresh the fur was, they say it shed no more than an hour before it was discovered. I asked Mrs. Eubank about it, and she says it's from the family cat. Really? None of that was in a police report. Why leave it out? I brought it up to the chief, but he was dismissed as irrelevant. He said, what are we supposed to do? Claim the cat as a witness and request testimony? Cats do make for poor witnesses. As for the phone, we believe this phone was used to call the police this morning. We're not sure how it ended up here. Perhaps the thief tried to hide it. I'll take note of both. A storage cabinet found in a trophy room. There is a small trace of an orange cat fur inside, which were left on the day of the robbery. Trophy room telephone. A telephone found stuffed inside a cabinet in the trophy room. It's been disconnected. Dress. Who keeps a single yellow dress hung up like this? Mrs. Eubank says that what she wears is she's watching her husband play golf. She says it's easier to find when it's next to golf clubs. I'm surprised she wouldn't wear something fancier. She can afford whatever outfit she wants, but goes for tacky yellow. It's simple and elegant, like her personality. You need a better eye for fashion, Red. There's more to style than just throwing on whatever. I'm a simple man. Only need is something that fits me. Yeah, like a bright red jacket. There's some golf clubs over there. How strange. This blue one has its head polished, but not the rest of it. Oh, maybe the golf club was used. I guess Chandra was cleaning it when she got attacked. That's what we thought, but there's nothing in here for cleaning golf clubs with. According to the Eubanks, after delivering breakfast, Chandra was asked to clean the blue one. Is there a golf tournament coming up? Maybe Mr. Eubank will use it there. And why would you want to have this one cleaned? These clothes are just for show. What do you mean? He keeps his real clubs in his room. These 3 are his lucky clubs. These 3 are more to show off. Claims he carries them to a few tournaments he won. Strange. Why would he want just 1 clean then? I didn't ask him. Don't worry about it. If it's connected to this case, we can ask him later. You think any of these clubs could have been the weapon? We tested them for blood, but they came back negative. I'll add this to the evidence. One of Owen's lucky golf clubs. Although Chandra had been asked to clean them, this one is still partially dirty, tested negative for blood. Okay, so I guess it wasn't the weapon. According to this trophy, Mr. Eubanks got first place at a golf tournament recently. Apparently, he's won plenty of trophies in the past. One magazine said, a true visionary, when his company's stock goes up, his golf score goes down. Isn't a low score bad? Golf's about getting the ball in the hole for the least number of swings, so a low score is best. If these look great, why display only 1 trophy? Huh, you make a good point. Unless he has another room, this room's unusually bare given his previous record. So the culprit came in through the window, huh? Given that the door was locked, they would have had to leave through it as well. But then, why would they close the window? Surely a thief escaping in a hurry wouldn't put the effort to close it. That seemed odd, but it was closed when we got here. Whoever attacked Chandra must have closed it. Alrighty. Let's... Before we go to the bedroom, let's go to the kitchen. It seems a pair of red and green bell peppers have entered my pot. Ah, Detective, you are back. Mr. Curry, I'm back with newest member of the police veggie guard. I'm Justina Smith, the green bell pepper. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Oliver Curry, personal chef to the Eubank family. Tell me, Detective, do you have any news on Chandra? Unfortunately not. She's still recovering. Thankfully, it's not life-threatening. I can't believe someone would attack her. Could you give her this box of food when you say her next? She didn't eat any breakfast this morning, and the hospital food isn't fit for rats to eat. Couldn't you just bring her the food himself? Whatever, I'll take it. I read the report from yesterday, but you didn't come up. Where were you during the robbery? I was on vacation up until yesterday. I was gone for the past few days to visit my parents. It took a whole day of travel just to get back here. I arrived about an hour after the robbery. He checked his case this morning and he only showed up after the robbery. Speaking of this morning, where were you when Chandra got attacked? Why do you ask? Just doing routine investigation. Is he also just cooking an onion? Wait, I already told you all of this, but I'll say it again. Alrighty. I spent most of the day cooking. Chandra came here this morning to bring the family their breakfast. After that, I stayed here in the kitchen, cleaning until I heard she was attacked. The police had already found her in the trophy room by then. Oliver claims he was in the kitchen during the attack. The police found Chandra before he arrived at the scene. Alright, let's talk. A whole day to travel, that must have been exhausting. It certainly was, but no matter the distance, not my family. Then why work here? Couldn't you work close to your family? They would have forced me to work in the family business. No, Sherry and I are much happier here. Sherry? My frying pan. She is my most trusted companion. I take her everywhere I go. Who names a frying pan? Right, so what exactly is your family's business? They run a restaurant back home. Not much artistry in there. Everything is fried. Here, I am free to make anything I wish. Don't the Eubanks decide what you cook? They might decide their meals, but how I prepare them is entirely up to me. My creativity runs free in the kitchen. I see. All this talk about food is making me hungry. I should ask this Sherry, to the evidence. Oliver's favorite frying pan, he carries it with him everywhere. Sounds like Mr. Eubank is a good boss. He is a wonderful boss, such a joy to cook for. When he is hungry, he never misses his words, never hums and haws. No, he always knows exactly what he wants. Sounds reasonable to me. I am lucky to have a boss as kind as him. Not all of them are like that. My personal chefs get treated poorly. They seen as expendable. Chandra and I, on the other hand, have been treated well by Mr. Eubank. You've been rather quiet, sir. Well, I'm glad to hear he does the bare minimum for his employees. You have a problem, Mr. Eubank? I do, but not because he's a bad boss. Why then? I have my reasons. You should go meet him yourself, Justina. He's usually in his office upstairs. Yes, let's go pay him a visit. I suppose he needs a statement. Oh, we can head there whenever you're ready.
Alright, let's investigate here. Stop staring at me, overgrown side dish. I don't need to be guilt-tripped eating my veggies.
I see you have taken an interest in my salad.
Oh, yeah, it looks tasty. As tasty as salad can be.
Or the finest, of course, for the Eubanks. Anything that would be no different than a greasy fast food cook.
I better not tell him about my high school job. The wine.
Oh wow, this is some fancy wine. Let's see.
Our winery started over 50 years ago by a pair of brothers with nothing except 2 cows and a dream. They worked hard growing the best ingredients in order to deliver the finest taste to your mouth. If you want quality, always look for the 2 cow logo. Impressive, but I still don't know what kind of wine this is. The painting. I really like this painting. The countryside landscape looks so peaceful with a muted color palette.
My mom paints as a hobby. This is a gift from her, so I could be reminded of home.
You're from the country?
Yep, a small town called Appleton. It's a farming town out away at the east. The Eubanks didn't care. They hired me off my food alone. A lot of those wealthy folk treat us like we're lesser because we're from the country.
Well, the Eubanks seem quite nice at least. Oh, flower. That's a lovely bouquet.
They are yellow poppy flowers. Mrs. Eubanks says they represent optimism.
Just like a hummingbird.
She loves to be optimistic, so those are her favorite.
They're very pretty. I should buy some for my room. I wonder what's in here.
Don't open that! Eep!
This is sorry. What's in there anyway?
It is cat food. The Eubanks are so many hours away. I can't stand the smell of that stuff.
Surely can't smell that bad.
Well, it does. It doesn't help that I'm allergic to cats.
So why keep the food here then?
The Eubanks don't know that I'm allergic, and I don't want to cause a fuss. They want it in there, so it stays in there. Her job is important to me. The Eubanks want a cat. I don't want them replacing me over it. Thankfully, Mrs. Eubank has no cat policy in the kitchen. I'll be red as a tomato otherwise.
Well, why don't you look for a place to work without cats around?
Where it doesn't grow on trees. I applied to hundreds of places before I landed this job. I won't let a single cat take that away from me.
Oliver's apparently extremely allergic to cat fur, so he avoids contact with the Eubanks cat. Lucky for him, no cats are allowed in the kitchen. Alrighty, stove hood. What's the hood for?
It caps the smoke and grease from the stove and carries it out to the kitchen.
Oh really? I've never seen one.
How sad. The smell of grease must be dreadful in your kitchen.
I'm used to it. Food is food after all.
I can't stand it. It makes the kitchen smell awful. Plus, it's a health hazard.
Depending on where you live, this might be required by law. I bet it's another case of the landlord forgetting to tell me. Alright, before we talk to Mr. Eubank, let's go to Chandra's bedroom. It's something. I like the green on the walls.
Here we are, Chandra's bedroom.
Are we really in the same house? This room is a bit bland.
Maybe she prefers being minimalistic.
That or the Eubanks don't pay her enough. By the way, a modest room makes our lives easier. Alright, let's investigate. Let's check this chest for clues.
You mean this chest for clues?
No, it has drawers that you pull, so it's a chest of drawers.
Dresses are short and wide, while chests of drawers are tall and narrow.
This is short and wide, therefore it's a dresser. Is this really that important? Let's just look inside. There's some golf club cleaner. What looks like a camera? Why would there be a camera in here? The inside seemed broken. Judging by the chest, I'd say it was hidden away on the top of the wardrobe. Some of the parts have fresh club cleaner on it. So whoever put it there must have been using a club cleaner. Why is it broken? The scratches on it means it must have hit the floor pretty hard. That would have been enough to break it. With a fresh club cleaner on it, it must have been broken today. I know it's simply fall on its own, just one mystery on top of another. Let's add both of the evidence. Club cleaner. Golf club cleaner found in Chandra's chest of drawers. It's used to polish and clean golf clubs. Camera. A small broken camera found in Chandra's chest of drawers. It was broken today and there are traces of golf cleaner on it. Thus markings have shown it may have been hidden on top of the wardrobe. Let's look at the window. This room is a bit cold. The window must be why. It's letting a draft in. Why is it open? We found it open when we got here. Did Chandra open it? No idea. Best to leave it alone for now. This must be the window I spotted outside. An open window in Chandra's room. Why would she leave it open on such a cold day? Wardrobe? For me, there sure is a lot of cat fur in here, especially around the wardrobe. I wonder what's inside. Oh, what the? Aha, you finally... What?
I've been waiting here forever. Now hand over your badge, Miss Detective. You were here the whole time? Hang on, you know her already? Of course, she's Fee. My name's Fee, and this is my cat, Toasty. Nice to meet you both. My name's Justina. I'm here to help with the investigation today. So this is Eubank's cat. He's super cute. I think he likes you, miss. So why exactly does she want your badge, detective? Wait, hold on. Pause. How old is she? She's 10 years old. Okay. I may or may not have promised to play hide and seek with her this morning, and I bet my badge on it. Turns out she's really hard to find. Have you really been here this whole time? Yep, and since you never found me, I won. Now give me your badge. I did find you. No, you didn't. The green lady found me, so it doesn't count. She takes hide and seek seriously. Hey, let's worry about the badge later, okay? Right now I want to ask you a couple questions about today. I like how the cat looks up too. Well, Toasty and I are really tired, so we're gonna have trouble remembering things. Maybe you could jog our memory with some money? You want us to pay you? Audit tells me that information is worth more than gold, so I'm not gonna talk to you for free. I can't believe being extorted by a kid. Detective, what do we do now? Hold on, I got an idea. Tell you what, Fee, how about we play a little game instead? A game? We're listening. You answer all our questions honestly, and Justina will give you whatever you want. But if we catch you lying, I get to keep my badge. Deal? Hang on, I didn't agree to that. Hey, I already put my badge on the line. Take one for the team. Alright, fine. I really hope this kid's bad as lying. So, how does that sound to you, Fee? Deal. What do you want to know? I don't remember hearing about her at the police report. I wonder if she saw anything. Let's start from the beginning. Where were you yesterday when the robbery happened? Huh, that's easy. You better get ready to give us the piggyback ride of a lifetime. My back's already aching from the thought. I hope Detective Swift knows what she's gotten us into. Before all the police came, Shadow wanted to play hide and seek. Toasty and we decided to hide in the kitchen. Oh wait, there's no cat policy in the kitchen. I waited there for a while, and by the time I came out, all the police were there. Chandra never found us, so I won. I see. I've got to spot a lie for the sake of my spine. Oh, okay, I know what's going on. But first of all, let's continue looking around, and then I'll point out the contradiction. There's so much cat fur around the wardrobe. Cats tend to shed more during the spring to prepare for summer heat. Given that it's April, the amount of fur is normal. Cats know no bounds. Eubank's cat leaves a prominent trail of shed fur wherever it goes. A bunch is clumped around Chandra's wardrobe. Some of the wallpaper's peeling. Yeah, I noticed that earlier. We should check it out. Leave no stone unturned. But what if we make it worse? It's just wallpaper. We can fix it up. Alright. Oh my. Look behind the paper. There's a small hole. I think there's supposed to be some kind of storage space. Do you see anything in there? Looks like a filing drawer. There's a bunch of important documents inside. What do you mean? Insurance paperwork, medical documents, Chandra's passport. It's all properly labeled. Hang on, there's something missing here. You can see a spot for a file, but there's nothing inside. I'll note this down. Chandra's passport, which is found in a small storage space hidden behind the wallpaper. Seems to have stored other important documents here, but something next to it was taken. That missing spot. We should check this for prints. You won't believe this. Chandra's prints are here, but there's another set of prints too. Whose? Mr. Eubank himself. Wait, how did you identify those prints so quickly? I carry a small device for it. It holds a small database of prints that I can quickly check against. We got a sample of everyone's prints earlier. These prints are pretty fresh too. I see they were left today. Science can tell if fingerprints are fresh. It's not science. The paper's still sticky. No dust on them from being exposed for too long. So it had to have been peeled today. If the fingerprints are on the sticky side, that means it showed up today. Wow, she knows her stuff. Fingerprints belonging to Owen Eubank were found in Chandra's bedroom on the sticky side of her peeling wallpaper. They were left today. 2 kinds of evidence from 1 clue. Nice work. Yeah. What's wrong? It's just, I was here earlier. I didn't bother to check behind the wallpaper. I could have found this. But you found those prints, and you noticed that missing file. If you hadn't come here, no one would have found it. We did find it. It's a 2-person job. Let's just keep investigating. You can't go be so hard on yourself. I should talk to her about this after the case. Alright, painting. This painting looks so sad. The mountains are crying out in pain. Crying out in pain? Yes, look at the one far back. The side was chopped off. A chip that size could only be missing because of human activity. That or the artist didn't notice. Of course the artist noticed. Every detail in the painting like this is deliberate. Every brushstroke, every line. You sound like you're an artist yourself. No, I'm just terrible at it. My parents are artists, though. Sorry we're getting a bit carried away there. Don't worry about it. You're cute when you'll go, oh, we're cute, apparently. Let's move on. Is this flirty? This bed looks so bare with only that thin sheet. I expected a bit more from a maid. She must not have made the bed this morning. It sounded like she was rather busy. I can make my bed in under a minute. What's your excuse? A minute? My personal record is 36.13 seconds. What's yours? I can remember the last time I made my bed before work. I must have forgotten. How about I just add the bed to evidence for now? The bed in Chandra's room where she sleeps at night. It's missing its sheets, leaving it quite bare. And then a phone. What a quaint phone. Hang on, it looks like it's damaged. The receiver's cracked. Perhaps someone dropped it. There are even tiny bits of plastic on the floor. Maybe. Let's add it to the evidence. A telephone in Chandra's room. The receiver has been damaged. Chipped bits of plastic found on the floor. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk about everything else before we review the statement. You mind if I pet Toasty? Go ahead. He's really soft. Toasty used to live outside. He always come and say hi to us. I'm glad Toasty has a new home. My neighborhood has more stray cats than I can count. You should adopt one of them. I hate seeing Toasty without a home. I'll think about it. I don't really like the idea of trying to grab one of those feral cats off the street. Why did you want Detective Swift's badge? So Toast can become Detective Toasty. He's a cop who doesn't play by the rules. The cops are supposed to follow the law, not break it. Detective Toasty should get a good example. That's boring. We like our way better. He really is just a kid. Alright. Can you tell us again where you were during the robbery? Okay, Sean's playing hide and seek. We decided to hide in the kitchen. Dispute this because... where is it? Oliver's allergy. No cats are allowed inside the kitchen. Oh, we got her. Babe, we already spoke to Oliver. He says cats aren't allowed in the kitchen. You couldn't have hidden there with Toasty. You did? How do you know? He wasn't here. He was on some trip. That's true. How can we prove Toasty wasn't there? Well, drat. There's gotta be a way. I just have to think. Can I prove Toasty couldn't have been in the kitchen? Is that his allergy? Yeah, because there was fur in there. Let's do a save point. Why do you keep, here's your proof. His allergy, right? That's not it. It has to be something Fee or Toasty would have... Oh, fur! Here's a proof. Cat's fur. Fee, Toasty likes to shed a lot, doesn't he? In fact, everywhere he goes seems to leave a trace of it. But I don't remember seeing any sort of cat fur in the kitchen. If you had really hid it there with Toasty, there would have been cat fur all over the place. And poor Mr. Curry would have been sneezing like crazy. Fine, you win. I wasn't in the kitchen. You keep your stupid badge. I don't want it anyway. Good work, Justy. My badge is safe. Justy? Oh my god, we're already on nicknames? Oh my god. Sophie, if you weren't in the kitchen, then where were you hiding? Toasty can't remember. This again? Thanks, Justina. There's gotta be some way to figure out where she was. I have the evidence right here. Where was the fur found again? Not Chandra's wardrobe. Wasn't there one... Here you go, trophy room cabinet. There's a small trace of orange cat fur inside, which was left on the day of the robbery. B, we found cat fur in the trophy room. Detective Swift said she found it yesterday, and it was no more than an hour old. So I think you and Toasty were hiding in the trophy room when the robbery happened. What? Okay, I was hiding in there, but you can't tell anyone. P, why didn't you tell the police about this? I know I was supposed to go in there, and Toasty isn't either. I don't want to get in trouble. If Father found out, he'd be trying to take Toasty away. I gotta let Toasty go back into the wild. Oh, not the cat having sad eyes. I need you to tell us about what happened yesterday. It'll help us find out what happened to Chandra. Do you promise I won't get in trouble? We promise. Well, I heard Chandra and someone else in there. I think they were taking stuff out of the safe. I got really scared. I told Oliver about it. He always knows what to do. Hang on, Oliver knew? He never mentioned that. I was scared about what happened to Chandra. Father started being really mean to her, and I thought Oliver would help her. Oh no, you don't think. Let's not jump to any conclusions yet. We'll make a note of this for later. Thank you, Fee. Really helped out a lot. And so did you, Toasty. Can I get a piggyback-ritis, thanks? Yeah, can she? Don't encourage her. Fee was actually hiding the crime scene during the robbery. She told Oliver about Chandra's involvement in the robbery. Alright, I was going to go to the office, but let's go back and confront Oliver. Let's save. Hold on. When did she say she told him? She told him about the involvement in the robbery. Shauna came in this morning. Stayed here in the kitchen. She had her attacked. The police already found her in a trophy room by then. So the robbery was yesterday. Is it at this statement? Oh, I'm not supposed to do anything here? Okay. Let's go to the office and meet Mr. Eubank. Because we haven't met him yet. And maybe I'll come together. Forget the foyer. This is the real lines then. Detective, maybe we should... Good afternoon, Mr. Eubank. I'm back. Too late. Detective, have you finished dealing with a little rat problem yet? Rat problem? Oh, the scary and thieving rat in my home. You dealt with the thief, but we're here on other matters. This is my assistant, Justina Smith. Justina, this year's only Eubank founder and CEO of Eubank Investments. An assistant? I didn't know you were a detective of prestige. Hey, I'm not a trophy. If you want to tag along and see your pro at work, and find out more about the attack on Chandra. I'm sorry to say, but I won't be much help in the matter. Why not? This is your house, isn't it? Surely you must know about what goes on here. If you must know, Miss Smith, I only saw Miss Leah during breakfast and we hardly spoke at all. I have no idea about what happened earlier after that. Now, I'm quite busy right now and I don't have time for all these inane questions. Really helpful, this guy. Clearly the window isn't gonna look through itself. Nevertheless, we still need to record your statement. Just goes a few sentences and we won't bother you again. Your officers are always such a bother. Fine, but let's make it quick. God, I really hope he did it. Around 7:30 this morning, I went down to the dining room to have breakfast with my family. Miss Leah came to serve us food, and that was the only time I saw her. After that, I went straight back to my office, where I remained the rest of the morning. Not long after, you all showed up and told me Miss Leah had been attacked. Owen claims to have breakfast with the family where he saw Chandra. Afterwards, he claims to have gone directly to his office where he remained until the police arrived. Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Eubank. We need to have a look around and ask you a few more questions, and then we'll be out of your way. Miss Assistant, let's get to work. Right. Alright, investigate. There are quite a lot of history books here. History is a wonderful thing. It defines who we are. And yet, we can only ever experience it once. For example, this book I'm currently reading is about how Azure City went from being a small city-state to sprawling capital it is now. To grow so fast simply by merging with other city-states over the course of a scant 50 years is truly marvelous. It certainly is. This is what I get for sleeping through history class. What's this? A guide to taking care of monocles. I didn't think they actually wrote books on this. A monocle is a gentleman's best friend. It would be a crime not to keep it clean. Gentleman's best friend? Doesn't your wife wear one as well? His is a simple accessory. Mine is a prescription. I can't see in my left eye without it. I don't know which of your statements surprises me more. Let's see what's on his computer. Is that a video game? Melody Man 12. Stop snooping around! Sorry, but I have to ask, why would a man of your age be involved in a video game? I'm only in my 30s. I was there when Melody Man started fighting for everlasting music. I see. I guess even Owen had a childhood. This is an expensive lamp. Looks like the price tag is still on it. This is worth more than an entire month's salary. Be careful around that. I already had to replace that lamp once. What happened? That nuisance of a cat came running in here and knocked it over. A whole lamp? That cat must be all muscle. If it were up to me, that cat would never have stepped a foot in this home. What stopped you? My wife. She was determined to take that cat in. That woman sets her mind on something, nothing can stop her. I see. Alright, let's talk. Mr. Eubank, I understand you asked Chandra to clean one of your golf clubs today. May I ask why? A friend of mine wanted to borrow it for an upcoming tournament. Since it was my luckiest clubs, he hoped it would give him an edge. He was supposed to come today, but we had to reschedule. Yeah, I bet. Seems like he asked Chandra to clean it by chance. Mr. Eubank, I was reviewing the case file with the robbery this morning. I have to ask, why does Chandra know the code of the safe? Do I need a reason? Well, no, it's just odd. And you must know it's because she's a trusted employee. She did a lot of the accounting work, given the code made things easier for the both of us. Does that answer your question? Yes. This doesn't add up. If he's embezzling money, why would he entrust Chandra? Do you have some reason to believe she'd keep it a secret? Okay, I have an idea of what to do. Let's review the statement. I should go over his statement again. It's the one where he's like, I was there the whole time. I went straight to my office where I remained for the rest of the morning. However, there were fingerprints. Fingerprints belonged to Owen Eubank were found in Chandra's bedroom on the stick inside the peeling wallpaper. They were left today. Which contradicts what he's saying. Mr. Eubank, as part of our investigation, we searched Chandra's room. Inside, we found a small hidden filing cabinet. If you were in your office all day, why did we find your fingies in there? The monocle! Oh, he just has so many monocles in that pocket. Oh, I must have touched it some other time. That drawer was covered behind freshly peeled wallpaper. Those prints had to have been left today. You can't be serious. It's an outrageous invasion of privacy. Who authorized you to start dusting my house for fingies? We have the right to test for fingies as part of our investigation, so as long as you have just cause. Now you can either confess here, or you can do this at the station. Is this really how you treat innocent bystanders? Only the ones who are lying now start talking. I need to speak with Miss Leah over a delicate matter. I went there for that. If you just give me a moment, I can explain all your worries away. Alright, new statement. No one could have known she was in her room. Me visiting there is unrelated to this assault. That's why I kept my visit to myself. It was all a massive coincidence. Statement again. Might be lying again. Alright, no one could have known. Hold on, let's review.
She was in a clean room by herself until the police came, feeding the cat. Oh wait, hold on, maybe the camera? Because he's saying no one could have known she was in her room. So, what about the camera? Oh! There was a way someone could have known. We also found a camera in that room. Before it was broken, someone had been spying on her. That person could have been you.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. I never put any camera in there.
We know that Chandra worked with the thief and that you were suspicious of her. You could have reported to the police.
It was an internal matter I needed to deal with myself.
This began to sound like a clear motive for us all.
How dare you? You can't possibly presume I attacked her.
Why else did we find your fingies in that room? What else would you have been spying on her?
I'm in that room, but not to attack Miss Leah. There was something important in there that I needed. Once I had it, I left. I have a witness who can verify as much. Oliver came out of a room.
Oliver was there? He didn't tell us that. What was he doing in there?
I didn't ask. He just said that she wasn't there, and then he left in a hurry.
So tell me, just what were you looking for in that room?
That's none of your business, detective.
That's fine, I already know the answer. This morning our thief told us something very interesting. She mentioned that the charity money was wrongly calculated. I think Chandra had proof of it, so I read you guess who took it, and then try to end her life to tie up the loose ends.
I would never harm her. The charity money was perfectly calculated. You have no grounds to doubt that.
So what are you hiding from us? Let's hear it.
Your fool detective was some common thief of my own. There's not a smidge of evidence to back it up.
An innocent woman's being charged of attempted murder. Any decent human being will want to help her.
That wretch stole from me, filled my home with police officers, and you think I should help her? I have no sympathy for her. She's getting what she deserved.
You say that to her face after dragging her back to the station. Detective, you're taking this too far. He's right, we don't have any proof of any of this. This guy thinks he's only going to cause more problems.
Seems a little assistant. He has more sense than you. I'll have your job for this, detective. One phone call to the chief of police, and I'll ensure you never work in the city again.
Let's go, Justina. We'll solve this case ourselves. I can't believe him. We're going outside right now. I would admit to having entered Chandra's room close to the assault in order to take something. He claims to have seen Oliver leave her room, and Chandra was not present. Detective, what's gone into you? I'm sorry I had to see that. I should have handled things better. You're right, you should have. You have any idea how much trouble you got us in? Did you hear what he said in there? You could have lost your job over this. I stand by what I said. He knows more than he's letting on. Maybe so, but there's no reason to accuse the man of attempted murder. You can't reason with his kind. Being nice to them will only let them take advantage of you. His kind? What, guys with monocles? They're rich. The people who have enough money to change the world but rather hoard it all to themselves. They'll do anything to cling on to their power, no matter who they have to hurt in the process. That's why he embezzled all that money. If bringing him down means I lose my job, so be it. If he's so wealthy, why would he risk embezzling even more money? Because he can. Well, I think you're wrong. We have no reason to think he's a bad person. Sure, he was a little rude, and he did lie to us. Twice. But I bet there's more to him than that. You're naive, Justina. But you're right. I should have acted the way I did. Cloud's orphanage is very important to me. I let that cloud my judgment. I'm sorry. Apology accepted, but why is the orphanage important to you? That's a story for another time. We have a case to solve. Right, I think it's time we pay a visit to Mr. Curry. Can we talk to him about anything else? Okay, we can talk to him about the other people. You're pretty friendly with the chef. A wise detective always befriends the cook. That way you get the best snacks. So, it's all just for the food? Not just for the food, Miss Assistant. I was hoping you might have seen something. When I found out he was away during the robbery, I crossed him off my list of suspects. I see, so you prefer him to get information. Clever. Bingo. Only afterwards did I try his cooking. I'm taking my compliment back. You and Detective Swift are pretty different. If I were to paint you two, I use oil paint for you and watercolors for her. Sorry, but your analogy's lost on me. I mean, you're very patient and methodical, while she's very intense and prone to fly away. I still don't get it. Oh, never mind. Sir, why were you aware the fee was in the bedroom? Nope, I didn't arrive till
after Sophie played hide and seek with her. I figured she couldn't find her on her own. She almost lost her badge. She should have helped. But she didn't she, Miss Assistant? I guess. Alright, let's go confront the cook. Actually, listen to the statement again. Was it cooking? Came here bringing family the breakfast. I stayed in here in the kitchen clean until I heard she was attacked. And this was the day of the assault. Mr. Curry, we spoke to Mr. Eubank. He told us he saw you coming out of Chandra's room this morning. He did? Is that true? I'm sorry, Detective. I refuse to answer that. You refuse? I won't speak to either of you without a lawyer. I see, then we'll have to do this the hard way. Mr. Oliver Curry, you're under arrest for assault and battery of Chandra Lear. You'll be coming back to the station with us for questioning. You can speak with an attorney once you're there. Miss Assistant, let's head out. Right. What's going on? Oliver, where are they taking you? Taking him for questioning. He refused to speak with us any longer. We have no choice but to arrest him. Is that so? You come to my house, snoop through all my things now. You're trying to arrest my staff. Oliver, don't you say another word to them. I'll meet you at the station. Why do I feel like Ferris did it? Huh? Oliver's trusted member of this household. I'll see his defense through. Ferris, please, you don't have to do this. I know what I'm doing, Oliver. My husband told me the things he said to him, Detective. I know what you're trying to do. Get in my home and threaten my husband. Now you want to pin this on my shelf. I think it's time someone put you in your place. She stormed off in a rage. Get ready, Miss Assistant. This is only the beginning. So have a long day ahead of us. We headed back to the station, Mr. Curry in tow. The ride back was silent. No one wanted to speak or knew what to say. I didn't know what to think. Did Mr. Curry attack Chandra? If so, why? Case 2, Part 1. Ooh, let's continue. Alright, back at the station. Here I am again, outside the interrogation room. I took the opportunity on the way over to clean out my notes. You seem nervous, Miss Assistant. Of course I'm nervous. Interrogating one person was hard enough, and I have to do it with a lawyer in the room? I'm not qualified for any of this. Why aren't you handling this? You should think more highly of yourself. You got a perfect confession record. Most detectives kill for that. Yeah, a perfect record of one. Terrible things are one thing. I dealt with customers trying to swindle my dad enough times to handle that. But I've never dealt with a lawyer. Gee, just another obstacle in the way of the truth. Remember, nothing she says can change the facts. This is a test of logic and reason, same as before. As long as we have the facts on our side, the truth will reveal itself. Gonna get us a confession, Miss Assistant. I'll keep Miss Eubank off your back. If anything goes wrong, I'll be the one taking the fall. I trust you to see this through. What if we miss something? What if Mr. Curry's innocent? Well, that's what we'll find out. You should trust your instincts, Miss Assistant. Breathe in, breathe out. Alright, let's go. Hold it. Miss Earl, what's wrong? Ernest, I don't know what you did back in the estate, but the chief is livid. He wants you in his office immediately. The chief will have to wait. We have an interrogation to conduct. This isn't even your department, Ernest. If the chief finds out... Have I ever led you wrong before, Sue? I need you to trust me on this. Keep the chief busy. I'll handle him after this is done. I never saw you. If you two mess us up, I won't be able to protect your jobs. This applies to you too, Justina. No. If I lose your job, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my rent. Don't worry about that. We have everything we need to win the case. We only proved he went to Chandra's room. We don't have grounds to arrest the man. When the police arrived this morning, Ferris was with Detective Swift, and Owen was snooping through Chandra's room. Oliver's the only one unaccounted for. I hope you're right, Detective. Let's get started. Alrighty, let's do this. He brought the frying pan with him. I love that. Now they're all here. Let's get started. Alright, sorry, before we start, I am out of water, so I'm just gonna refill my water, and then I'll be back in like literally a minute.
I'm back. With water. Now we can do this. Sorry about that. Okay. Alright, let's get started. Oliver Curry, now that you have a lawyer, I'd like to ask you a few questions. Were you in Mrs. Lear's bedroom this morning? While my client acknowledges that he was indeed in Miss Lear's bedroom, he denies having anything to do with her attack. My client was simply looking for Miss Lear, and upon finding out she was not in her room, he left. It was so that simple. Someone attacked Miss Lear. It wasn't the thief. Miss Yor and Miss Lear were working together. She had no reason to attack Miss Lear. Have you considered that maybe they had a falling out, detective? Perhaps this Miss Yor wanted the money for herself. Either way, my client's not involved. Mr. Curry, why were you really in Chandra's room at the time of the attack?
Oh, I was just looking for her, I swear it.
Why were you looking for her?
Does that matter? I have a right to privacy.
You don't need to answer that, Oliver. Look, detective, I don't care what sob story that thief gave you. We have no right to try and pin this on my client. Anna might be a thief, but she wouldn't simply kill her dearest friend. I stake my badge on it. You have no proof my client was at the scene of the crime, only at Miss Lear's bedroom. We'll see about that. Mr. Curry, just give us your official statement to your movements at the time of the crime. Tell them the truth, Oliver, and this will all be over soon. Oliver Curry's statement. First course visiting Chandra. After finishing breakfast, I decided to speak with Chandra privately. Oh, I can question as I go through. Oh, that's cool. I'll do that. What exactly did you want to talk to her about? Don't answer that, Oliver. Miss Smith, why is this so important? My client has a right to privacy, you know. Unless, of course, you can shed some light on the matter. Let's drop her for now. I can always go back. I thought she was in her room, but when I looked, she wasn't there. Did you have some reason to believe she'd be in her room? Well, after she delivers breakfast, that's normally where she goes. But wasn't she asked to clean Mr. Eubank's golf clubs? Why wouldn't you think to check there? We could spend all day asking why and why not. My client checked her room, not the trophy room. Unless you have proof otherwise, let's move this along. Looking back, she must have been in the trophy room already. Quite the assumption to make. But how do we know she was in the bedroom still?
I just told you I didn't see her.
Well, yeah, so maybe she was hiding in the wardrobe. And why, pray tell, would she be doing that? I have some more questions to ask you. Let's continue.
After all, she called the police from the phone in that room, and that's where you found her.
That's where we think she called from. But she could have called the police from anywhere. And how exactly did her body end up in the trophy room? I should have to explain to Steve, but bodies don't teleport. Maybe the culprit moved the body. Do you think we would notice someone dragging a body around the house? Fair point. So, something doesn't seem quite right about all this. And perhaps I missed Eubank on my way back to the kitchen. Mr. Eubank say what he was doing there? Like, say, looking for something?
You've slandered my husband enough for today. Leave him out of this.
Lesson learned, don't bring her husband into this. That's why I remained until Chandra was found. Why didn't you just keep looking for her? Seems a little strange to just give up so easily.
I can't just leave the kitchen unattended for too long.
If Toasty were to show up. Besides, I had cleaning to do that. And what a lovely job you did of it. That kitchen was immaculate. Okay. Let's save. I want to get more details about this. Has a right to privacy. Unless, of course, you can shed some light on the matter. Let's press further. That conversation is critical. It could explain why Oliver attacked her. You really don't give up, do you? Oliver, tell her what you were talking to Chandra about. Dinner. I was going to ask about dinner preparations. Happy now, Miss Smith? You've thoroughly wasted all of our time. There's no way that's the truth of the matter. He's lying, I know it. I don't think pressing any further is gonna do any good. Better move on. She wasn't there. telephone? Oh wait, no, the trophy room telephone's been disconnected. She must have already been in the trophy room and that she called from that phone. Except the trophy room telephone's disconnected. Oh, we're still here. It's true, Mr. Curry, that there's a phone in the trophy room. However, Mrs. Lear couldn't have used that phone. When we checked the trophy room, that phone wasn't even connected anywhere. Preposterous. Huh? How do you know the phone was disconnected prior to the attack? Have you considered that the thief could have done that to try to cover the tracks? Besides, where else could she have called the police from? I'm glad you asked, Miss Eubank. Allow me to show you. This is what Miss Lear you phoned the police on. And now we do her phone in her room. There's another phone in Miss Lear's own bedroom, which has been damaged, almost like the phone was dropped. The voicemail she left was abruptly cut off when she was attacked. The phone breaking would explain that. That's complete conjecture, Miss Smith. And you know it. How do you know that Miss Lear's phone wasn't already broken? Miss Lear was in the trophy room. We already know this much. Allow me to explain. Oh, we have another thing. Rebuttal. Delightful explanation. We've already established that Miss Lear was in the trophy room. I agree. She must have been there at some point, but she could have left and returned to her room. Why was the body in the trophy room then? Maybe she came back before she was attacked? Mrs. Sisson, you realize that would mean Oliver didn't attack her, right? I just speculate on possibilities. Let's carry on. Not only that, where her body was found, there's also a solid reason. Why was the landline there disconnected then? As I stated before, perhaps the thief hid it away to cover their tracks. That's ridiculous. Why did the thief hide a phone? Why did the thief break into our home in the broad daylight to begin with? We can speculate on their reasons all we want, but unless you have proof otherwise, let's drop it. Owen had asked her during breakfast to clean one of his golf clubs. Right, he mentioned that her friend wanted to borrow it. But why make her clean it right away? Couldn't he have waited? My husband spends most of his day in his office, doesn't encounter Chandra often. He saw her during breakfast and that's when he mentioned it. Chandra is always prompt in her duties. If you ask me, I think he just wanted an excuse to search her room. It's clear that she never had a chance to do so, as the thief intercepted her then. How are you so sure she didn't have a chance to clean the club? It's just an assumption. I can't imagine another reason she'd be lingering in that room. Sounds like if I can prove her wrong here, she won't have much of a leg to stand on. Okay, so go to here. She never had a chance to do so, except the golf club was clean. Mrs. Eubank, Chandra was asked to clean that golf club, was she not? She was, but she never got the chance to do so. But there's the issue there. She did. We found the golf club partially clean. She must have been interrupted while cleaning it. Well, I suppose you're correct. It's clear the thief attacked her when she was cleaning. My argument stands firm. I wouldn't be so sure, Mrs. Eubank. There's a critical flaw in your theory, and I can prove it. Miss Lear couldn't have cleaned the club in that trophy room, and this is why. The club cleaner that was used in her room? The cleaner from the golf club was found in Chandra's bedroom, not the trophy room. It's good that Chandra took the golf club into her room and she was cleaning it, she called the police. That's when she was attacked. Hang on, how do you know she didn't just wet the rag with cleaner and take it to the trophy room? Akin to bringing the packet of ketchup inside the entire bottle. That would be impossible. There's nothing in the trophy room with the golf cleaner on it besides the golf club. Then how did the club get downstairs? Well, why is the cleaner upstairs but not the club? If our culprit wanted to make it seem like the trophy room was a real crime scene, all they would need to do is move the golf club. They brought the club down with Chandra. But since the cleaner was stashed away in her dresser, they likely didn't notice it. Critically, whoever attacked her must not have realized that Chandra hadn't finished cleaning the club. Completely baseless. This is nothing more than a pet theory. And there's one thing you've overlooked during it. And what would that be? You have to explain why exactly Miss Lear would call the police from her bedroom. Allow me to explain. Alrighty. Tea poorly brewed. If Miss Lear was in her room, why exactly would she call the police?
Perhaps she had a change of heart. After all, from what Fee told us, it seems like her husband was suspicious of Chandra. She could have feared for her life. My husband was nothing but good to Chandra. She was family. If my husband suspected Chandra's involvement in a robbery, he would have spoken of her civilly. I suppose that wouldn't cause someone to call the police. There has to be something in that room that would have made her afraid. Like she saw the thief returning to the scene of the crime from the window. How would a thief even get to her? The window only locks from the inside. She could have had the window open. Well, why not just shut and lock the window? If she saw the thief. People don't act rationally when they are afraid. She must have thought the police were her best option. I guess she had a point. Therefore, she had thought to call the police for in the worst. And why would she return her back on the attacker? If she saw her coming, wouldn't she choose to face her? I can't explain her actions, but Detective Swift played this recording earlier. You can clearly tell from her voice that she didn't know she would be attacked. I doubt she saw her attacker. But why? Nothing in her room would cause her to call the police. I mean the camera, but I'm gonna question her anyway. What do you mean? She clearly called the police because she saw someone coming. She's cleaning a golf club. Why exactly was she called? The phone is unrelated to the attacker. Have something to prove that? Nothing in her room would cause her to call the police. Probably the camera, because someone was watching her. Mrs. Eubank, were you aware that your husband was spying on Chandra? She was, and how she spat out the tea. Excuse me? What on earth are you talking about? What a slanderous accusation! Detective, rein your little assistant in before she gets herself into trouble. Go on, Miss Assistant. There was a hidden camera in Chandra's bedroom. When we found it, it was broken. Clearly, Chandra had found the camera in her room when she was cleaning. After breaking it, she decided to call the police. She must have been attacked at that moment while her back was turned. And how do you know my husband put it there? Well, I think my assistant got a little too eager there. Someone certainly put a camera there. Chandra did break it. But officially, we have no means to trace who put it there. I'm glad that's settled. As for the camera itself, what makes you think that she found it today? What if she found it on a different day? Oh, the camera had cleaner on it. We found some fresh golf cleaner on the camera. The same that we found in her room. She must have had some on her hands when she discovered the camera. If she found the camera any other time, it would have dried up by now. It's clear now that you're going to cling on to this pet theory of yours. But all this time, you failed to consider that Chandra was not found in her bedroom. Her body was found on the entire floor below. Bodies don't teleport, and my client could have possibly moved her. And why is that? I'll let my client explain. Alright, here it goes. Alrighty. Oliver Curry's statement. Second course, an impossible escape. Even though I attacked Chandra, the only exit to the room was the door. Miss Assistant, when you went up there, did you find any hidden doors? No, there's only one door in the whole room. Oliver would have had to enter through there. Then Mr. Eubank had to have entered the same door. So the body was moved out the room, it couldn't have been through the door. Mr. Eubank saw me leave the room. Did you say anything to him? I told him that Chandra wasn't in her room. And did he say anything to you? Not much, just that he was looking for something. That must have been when he searched the files. It seems unrelated to the attack. He would have noticed me carrying her body. What if you hid the body something first? Anything big enough to hide a body and my husband would have noticed. If I did anything like that, he would have mentioned it. Well, he did lie to us twice. We had no reason not to mention that. Mr. Eubank was in Chandra's room the whole time. He would have found her. You could have hidden the body somewhere in that room. That's why he didn't find it. Then you just moved the body after he left. It didn't take long for the police to arrive. My client would have had the time to move the body by then. Maybe so. Let's move on. If I couldn't have attacked her. Well, even if we don't know how you moved the body, you still could have attacked her. If that's your argument, I'll enjoy ripping it apart in court. Focus, Mr. Assistant. There's a flaw here somewhere. We can't make this case stick until we find it. Please do a better job of helping me find it. Okay, door. Everyone knows me carrying a body.
Maybe something in... Oh, there's a bed sheet here, and the sheets off of her bed were missing. So maybe her body was wrapped in the sheet? No. Is it on the other statement? No. You know, I want to see what happens if I get it wrong. You're lying, Oliver. Why don't you tell us the truth? Detective, right in your assistant. She's on a line. Let's not get lost on our hands, Miss Assistant. Here before we make an accusation. Okay, so there's no repercussions. Wait, was the window open to dump her body? No. Yeah, no. Oh wait, maybe I present the window at the exit, like someone jumped out the window? Oh, there we go. Actually, Mr. Curry, there is another exit. The window. The window? You think I threw out the window and she landed on the room below? You want another exit? The window's an exit. If that's your angle, then you really are desperate. It should be obvious that the window couldn't have been used, but allow me to explain it for you. Out the window. It's simply impossible Miss Lear was moved through the window. Anything's possible, Mrs. Eubank. You just have to be a bit creative. Then why don't you use your head a little bit? Explain how it was done. Oh, well, you didn't have to be so blunt about it. Apart from that height would have left noticeable injuries. I'm not implying that Oliver chucked her body out of a window. Perhaps he put something below the window or a fallen like a big pillow. And did you find anything like that? Well, no, but unless I have something like that, this won't get me anywhere. The only injury she had was a head wound. How do you know those are only injuries? When we found her this morning, I helped detectives quickly check she was alive. The only wound she had was on her head. Seems I need to give her a talk about letting potential witnesses check bodies. Does line up with what we were given. Well, at least Oliver wasn't out to kill her. Unless she had an injury no one noticed, I should move on. Wait for her body to move down the store without getting injured? Your theory is moot. Hey, detective, could a person be lowered from such a high place? Should be possible, assuming you have the right equipment. But Oliver would have had to brought it or use something found in Chandra's room. Well, this year I need to find something that could be used to lower Chandra. Otherwise, it's best to move on. Okay, so now I think I do the whole blanket theory. She was lowered using a blanket. Actually, there was a way she could have moved through the window unharmed. We found a bedsheet stuffed away in the trophy room. The sheet itself was covered in dirt, meaning it likely touched the ground outside. After attacking Chandra, Oliver wrapped her and the golf club in the sheet and simply lowered them onto the floor below. Oh, hold on, that sheet could have always been there. How do you know it came from Chandra's bedroom? That's easy. This is how we know where the sheet came from. Her bed having no sheet on it. When we investigated Chandra's room, we found her bed had been stripped of its sheet. We never found that sheet anywhere, because it was stuffed in the trophy room the whole time. You can't be serious. I am serious. Just look at him. Oliver's clearly strong enough to have lured Chandra with the sheet. It's the only way her body could have been moved. I believe that's all we need to do to prove that Oliver's the culprit. Enough. Why are you so determined on pinning this crime on me? This whole time, you haven't even considered your whole case is missing a key ingredient, a motive. Chandra's not only my co-worker, but a friend. We were very close, and her and I. Why would I attack Chandra? I have no reason to. Unless you can provide a motive. You got no grounds to charge me. Oh, we do have a motive. A motive, huh? I guess I haven't considered that. Something made Oliver want to attack Chandra. This is it, Justina. Time to drive the nail in the coffin. You want a motive? I got your motive. The truth is, you want to protect your job.
It's clear to me, Mr. Curry, that you cared about your job a lot. Made that point abundantly clear when we questioned you earlier. I think you never wanted to attack Chandra, but something happened that left you no choice. Fee told us that she spoke to you about Chandra's involvement in the robbery. I think you went to talk to her about it, and when you noticed her calling the police, you attacked her in the heat of the moment. Answer me one question. What was the weapon?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
The weapon? You never found the weapon. As I suspected, you never did recover it. The culprit must have taken the weapon with them. My client was the culprit. He would have surely found the weapon somewhere. He must have hidden it somewhere. I tried calling Detective Swift. They can't find anything there.
I demand to be released immediately. Without weapon, you have nothing. Let me make this perfectly clear.
Final course recipe for failure. If the weapon is in a house, it must... Okay, I know it's a frying pan. I'll just question everything out of, like, proper procedure. Detective, are you sure Detective Swift checked the whole house? She searched every square inch. Nothing's turned up. Must have been taken out of the house. Doesn't sound too good for Chandra. Nobody left the estate other than the police. That's not completely true. Both of you are here now.
Because you forced me here.
Both of us came straight here from the estate. If we had a weapon, you would have seen it. I suppose so.
There's no way I could have taken a weapon outside of the house.
Well, not that we know of, at least.
And what do you suspect? A carrier pigeon?
It's your job to prove that. If you can't, then good luck getting a verdict. Better keep looking.
Okay, I need weapons.
Detective, did you check in for weapons? What you see is what you get. Surely not hiding anything under this chef hat.
It's called a toque. I would never hide anything under it.
What you see is what you get, huh? We have everything on you, we just don't have a weapon. I'm sure a jury can be convinced. Then by all means, let's take this to trial. We'll see how strong your case is then. I'm sorry to say, but we need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Can't find that weapon? Don't worry, detective, I won't let you down. Okay, I'm not carrying any weapons. Sherry. Sherry's the weapon. There is one place none of us have looked. On Oliver himself. According to Detective Swift, the weapon was a flat, blunt object. Just like the frying pan he has right now. The same frying pan he arrived at the crime scene with. That's why no one found the weapon. No one thought to check Sherry. Oliver, we need to test your pan for blood.
Well, why? Just look at it. No blood in sight.
You may have washed the blood off, which can be found with the right tools. Of course, if you're innocent, we won't find anything, right? This is your last chance to confess, Oliver. Once we test that pan, it's over for you. Oliver, please tell me they're wrong. Oh, she's crying. I thought she would have done it.
No. I can't.
Oh, he's boiling. Oh, his eyes went red. Oliver, how could you?
I'm sorry, Ferris. I never intended for this to happen.
Well, why? Chandra was family, Oliver.
Fee told me that she was hiding in the trophy room when the robbery happened. She told me Chandra was taking money from the safe. I confronted Chandra, and she told me the money wasn't adding up. She said she was going to expose the Eubanks one way or another. I tried to convince her to change her mind, but she wouldn't listen to me. Then, at breakfast this morning, Edwin kept pressuring her. I knew she was afraid. She told me before that she considered calling the police and confessing to what she did. I went to go talk to her privately about it, but when I entered her room, I heard her on the phone. She was about to confess. I couldn't let her do it. I didn't know what else to do. This job, it meant everything to me. After being rejected everywhere else, I had a real job. If you and Owen were arrested, I would lose the best job I ever had. I couldn't go back to my family. I wasn't thinking before I knew it. She was on the floor. I had no choice but to frame the thief. I thought then Chandra would be safe.
I took up your defense because I believed in you. I thought you were truly innocent. I trusted you.
I'm so sorry, Ferris.
After gaining his formal confession, Detective Hunt escorted Oliver away. Miss Smith? Before I go, I thought I should apologize for how I acted there. I should be thanking you.
Thank me? I thought you would hate me.
As painful as it is, if you hadn't stepped in, the wrong person would be charged for Oliver's crime. It isn't easy, but at least some good came from all this. There is one more mystery hanging around the case. It seems that everyone believes that your husband is embezzling money from charity. When we spoke to him earlier, he denied it, but he was clearly spying on Chandra, and he took something from her room. Is it possible that he stole the evidence from her room? Of course not. We've run our business together for years. He would never do that. We've even publicly agreed to pay the stolen half out of pocket. Isn't that proof enough? I take it as proof. I really do. But it's Detective Hunt you have to convince. It seems I misjudged you. If you want to accuse my husband, at least be upfront about it. I'm not accusing him. I still think he's innocent. It's just, all this isn't really adding up. I'm going to make sure the police handle my former friend fairly. This conversation's over. I might have stepped on a landmine. Wow, she looked pissed. You alright, Justy? I could be better. I keep thinking about where the money went. Why do I keep pressing that? I might have pushed you a little too far. Did you just get back? Yep, I headed back here as soon as I could. In any case, let me be the first to say, congrats, you did it. You solved the case. I'm so proud of you and Red. It just wasn't us. Your work helped us too. You were the key to connecting Owen to the scene. Without that, we would never have known about Oliver's involvement. That's not traffic cop work, that's grade A detective work. Thank you, Justy. That means a lot. Hey, tell you what, why don't you tag along with me for drinks later? We can have a proper celebration then. Ooh! Say yes. Oh, yeah, sure. Great. Except for now, I'll be waiting when your shift's over. Getting a ride on the motorcycle? Before that, though, I think there's one person we've forgotten about. Wait in the interrogation room. I gotta grab Red and the guest of honor. I have a feeling I know who she means. April 16th, 4:48 p.m. Interrogation room. Ah, yes. Now that we're all here, I'm gonna give you the news. Monsieur, you're no longer being charged of assault. What about Chandra? She's still recovering from her injuries, but she's woken up. We expect her to be talk to her tomorrow. Thank you for the hydrate check. And posture check. Now, of course, Robbie charges is being dropped. Both of you will have to answer for that crime. How's it going, Zion? I expected that, but still. Thank you for finding out who attacked her. I'm truly thankful. I take back what I said earlier. You weren't evil. If you continue to cooperate with our investigation, I'll see that the district attorney can provide you some leniency. Wait, what investigation? It isn't over? Not yet, Mr. Assistant. We still have those embezzlement claims to look into. Sue spoke with the chief. Apparently, they both agreed to let you continue to be my assistant. If you work with me again, you finally know the truth behind everything. I want to believe Mrs. Eubank. Embezzlement is unnecessary for someone wealthy like Mr. Eubank. Yet, until I see the answer myself, I can't take her word for it. I'm in. Let's go back to our desks. We got a lot of work to get done. I spent the rest of the day doing my actual job, paperwork. I didn't see much of Detective Hunt. Miss Earl told me that once the chief found out what happened with Mr. Eubank, he got the biggest dressing down of his career. In the end, the fact we still solved the case is what saved him from demotion, or worse. Today was a day that truly changed my life. I don't know what's in store for me at the future, but I know whatever it is will be far more eventful than I could have ever imagined. Oh, are we not done? Just relaxing. How are you? Doing good. We're playing Paper Perjury. So far, I'm liking it. Who's this guy? Hello, sir. Do you need something? Lowell, my boy. I'm glad you came. Some information has come to my desk I need to look into. BG Turtles, Super Ninja Mutant Turtles, LLC. I want you to get me everything you find on this company. Yes, sir. Right away. This would go so much smoother without the police snooping around. End of case 2. Oh! Let's see. It's only been 2.5 hours. I'll start case 3. I might not finish it, but I'll start it. See how far we get. Azure City Police Precinct 5 station offices. Please, I just need a little more time. I'm sorry, but this isn't up for debate. If the chief says it's closed, it's closed. But it's been long enough. We need you working elsewhere. I have the finished case report on my desk by the end of the day. Yes, ma'am. Who is she talking to? April 24th, 8 a.m. Azure City Police Precinct 5 Station Lobby. It's only my second week at this job, and I already feel like I've aged 10 years. How could so much paperwork pile up so quickly? When I die, I hope I'm reborn in a paperwork-free life. Are you monologuing to yourself again? Miss Earl, I'm ready for the new day. That's the spirit. I wanted to tell you, Chandra was finally released from the hospital. She's waiting in the interrogation room. As much as I would like to have you do the job you're actually hired for, this is more important. Everyone else is already waiting, so get going. Yes, ma'am. April 24th, 8:07, in the interrogation room. Hey, Mrs. Eubank is back. I think Mrs. Eubank, I feel like, is involved somehow. I don't see her being totally innocent. Welcome to a little get-together. Welcome to a little get-together, Miss Assistant. Chandra, this is Justine Smith, my assistant for the investigation. Nice to meet you, Miss Smith. Miss, you already confessed to your involvement in the robbery, so we can skip over that. However, she also claimed that you believe Eubanks were siphoning off... Yeah, hold on. Is it a conflict of interest if the Eubanks are accused of embezzling, having, like, one half of the Eubanks be her lawyer? I mean, okay, we're just gonna allow it. You believe the Eubanks are siphoning out money from the charity fund. Do you have any evidence for this alleged embezzlement? I do. I keep all my records in my room behind the wallpaper. Unfortunately, we already checked there. All we found was your password and some unrelated documents. That's impossible! Someone must have taken it. We have reason to believe Mr. Eubank may have taken something from your room. If you had proof, that's likely what he took. This is slanderous. You have no proof of any of these claims. Clearly, she never had any evidence of the supposed embezzlement. You should drop this while you are a head detective. We're perfectly within our bounds to investigate these claims. If you intend to interfere, you can exit the room. Nothing more to say? Good. Chandra, we need to get your official statement on the matters. I'll tell you everything I know. I kept track of the donuts, the cloth charity, as well as the accounting. After doing the math, roughly 25,000 ohms are missing from the charity money. That money was redirected to a shell company called BG Tattles LLC. If we didn't grab the media's attention, it would have gone completely unnoticed. Chandra claims that roughly 25,000 alms were transferred from the charity fund to a shell corporation, BG Turtles LLC. Her proof the embezzlement has gone missing. What if the wife was embezzling money and the husband didn't? I think the husband's actually innocent and he's like trying to investigate it in-house, but he doesn't know that it's his wife. That's my early theory. You know why the money was missing? No, but I couldn't find any legitimate reasons for the money being transferred like that. I hope you realize about any evidence so we can have as your testimony. Any testimony that could give us much to work off of. Nevertheless, we intend to investigate these claims. You can't be serious. She's already proven herself an unreliable. Why is she here? Is she her lawyer or the prosecutor? Are you gonna take a word on the matter? I'm gonna find out the truth behind this, Mrs. Eubank. Surely I have no problem with that. With that, I believe we can conclude this little meeting. And I'll be leaving. Chandra, I'm afraid to say that as of now, you're officially terminated from your job. I know you've been through a lot, but we have no other choice. You can collect your things when this is over. Wait! She stormed off in a hurry. I can't say I expected anything else. Embezzlement or not, I still committed a crime. I suppose I deserve it. If it means anything, I promise we'll see this through to the end. We should go, Justina. I hate to just leave, but it's best we get going. Please tell me leaving the interrogation room with a sense of guilt is a normal. You should only feel guilty if you've done something wrong. We have nothing to be ashamed of. Sue will look after Chandra for now. We have a case to solve. We barely have anything to go on. How do we investigate this? If we can't find anything at the Eubank estate, that means the best place to look would be the orphanage itself. If the orphanage is involved, doesn't that mean it's possible there's no embezzlement? Mr. Eubank could have been holding on to the money for safekeeping. We'll have to keep an open mind. Either way, the orphanage should contain all the answers we need. Are you ready to go? Yes, sir. Hold on just a minute, you two. Miss Earl, what is it? If you're going to the orphanage, you better take a look at this first. How did you... She knows everything that goes on in the station. What do you have for us? You remember that vandalized car report from last month?
Of course I remember. That's the face of pure guilt if I've ever seen one. On March 14th, the orphanage director was involved in a crash after the brakes of his car failed. Oh right, that case. Wasn't Sophia assigned to that? She was. The landlady reported that the brakes in Bill's car were vandalized by an unknown person. However, she never found the culprit. The director ended up asking for the charge to be dropped after we failed to turn anything up. Why didn't you help, Detective? She was promoted earlier that month. It was her first big case and wanted her to solve it on her own. Otherwise, she just think it was all me. I see. Poor Sophie. The case might be closed, but it's a good reason to reach out to Bill. I suggest you keep embezzlement to yourself until you can figure out what they know. Detective Swift and I will see what we can dig up on BG Turtles in the meantime. Shouldn't she be joining us? The car crash is her case. That's why she can't. The case is closed. You're not there to solve it. It's your cover. But still, do I make myself clear? Yes, ma'am. Here's the case report. I should get you up to speed on things. Thanks for digging this up for us. Alright. Oh, okay. We don't... Okay, 5 weeks ago on March 14th around 2 p.m., police were notified of a car accident at the Klaus orphanage. Bill Klaus, the orphanage director, crashed into a tree after a brake failure. Our investigation found that the brakes had been purposely tampered with. Classifying the case as attempted homicide. A witness reports seeing an unknown suspect fleeing the scene around the time of the accident. However, our investigation failed to conclusively identify the culprit. All I did was find the file. If anyone asked, you asked me to find it for you. Oh, Justina, when you solve this case, take it easy on the drinking. I know what you and Sophie get up to after these cases. How did you... Oh, forget it. That's Sue for you. Now, let's get going. Supposed to keep anything secret around here, not with her around. Alright. This is an orphanage. It looks like one of those motels. I thought we were going to the orphanage. This looks like a That's what I'm saying. It used to be. Eubank Investments helped convert this old motel into an orphanage a few years ago. At the time, it was the orphanage's only choice, so they took it. You sure do know a lot about this place. Bertha and I go way back. I met him back in high school. We can talk about that later. Let's head over to this office. Let's investigate first. I gotta say, this is a bit of a dreary-looking building. Not that my apartment building's much better. It may not look like much, but to the kids here, it's home. It's an older building, but they keep it in good shape. I'm surprised it's still here. The land it's on probably worth a good amount. Maybe so, but I'd rather see it used for something good like an orphanage, rather than some luxury condo. You got a good point. The city's already seen enough gentrification. There's some pretty yellow flowers over there. It's nice to see some greenery among all the concrete. Let's see, looks like it's a sign with them. May all who live here grow as strong and beautiful as the poppy flowers. Each flower put here by Mrs. Eubank. Glad to see them still here. Sounds like Mrs. Eubank, that's for sure. You know, we could have parked closer. This lot's pretty empty. I don't want any children to see the police car pull up and think they were in trouble, so I always park further when I visit. Why would I think that? If a child runs away, the police are called. When a child needs protection from a bad household, the police are called. Last thing I want is these kids worried about is Bill getting in trouble. Personally, I feel like these things should be left up to social services, not us. Let the specialists handle cases involving children. That's what they're trained for. I never considered any of that. Here was only thinking about walking less. Looks like a garage. I don't think I've ever seen a motel with a garage. The original owners of the place used to live here, so that's where they store their vehicles. Now it's used for maintenance. I wonder what's inside. There's not much to see. Maybe we'll swing by there later. Alrighty. Talk about Chandra. I was all thinking about Chandra. Why'd you get fired like that? It was rough. Well, I certainly don't hold much respect for the Eubanks, but you could tell Mrs. Eubank didn't want to do that. If you were in their shoes, would you fire her? No, I wouldn't. I would give her a second chance. What about you? I think I'd have to. She broke their trust, justified or not. Can't really recover from that. Well, all we can do is solve this case to ensure her firing wasn't in vain. Yeah, we'll do it for Chandra. Travel to the director's office. Oh, there's a lot of folders and stuff here. Hello? Anyone home? Bill, what are you doing here? Bill, good to see you. Let me introduce you to my assistant. Justina, this is Bill Klaus, director of the Klaus Orphanage. Bill, this is Justina, the newest member of the precinct. Thanks for meeting
you. Congratulations on joining the force.
Thanks. Do I seriously look like a police officer?
Back on topic, why are you here?
Can an old friend just come and say hi?
You never come here just to say hi, Ernest. What do you want?
He knows his shit. You got me. I'm here about the accident last month. You never did catch a culprit, so I wanted to change that.
Not this again. Look, Ernest, I already told the police to drop it. It's water under the bridge now.
I'm here as a police officer, but as a friend. Someone almost killed you. I'm not letting them get off scot-free. I'm kind of impressed how he can lie about a real reason.
And why wait a month?
And you saw right through it. This isn't really my jurisdiction. I'm not supposed to be investigating this. I guess you could say I finally entered my loose cannon cop phase.
Loose cannon cop phase?
If I acted too quickly, the chief would throw the book at me. But it's like I've forgotten about the case by now.
Fine, whatever. I believe you. I really don't have much to say about the matter, but I'll tell you what I told the detective.
Alright, let's get the statement.
I had just gotten out of a meeting with the landlady when I head out for my car. Meg was fixing it up for me. I didn't see her around. I figured she was done. I barely left the parking lot before the brakes failed and I crashed. Thankfully, I was driving slowly, so I wasn't hurt bad. Can't say the same for my car, though. I haven't been able to drive it since.
On the day of the accident, Bill had a meeting with the landlady when the brakes in his car failed. As he was driving slowly, he was uninjured. Meg? You mean your Meg was working on it?
Yep, all those years working with the landlady is paying off.
Who's Meg? When Bill set this whole place up, she was one of the first kids here. I never thought I'd see her all grown up.
You know, she still doesn't want to go to college. She just wants to work at some mechanic shop. I keep telling her she's capable of more, but she won't listen to me.
Let her live her life before she becomes old and crusty like us.
Speak for yourself. I'm still strong as an ox. You could be too if you ever join me at the gym.
If Jim ever gets robbed, I'll be there right away. Till then, detective's job is never done.
Right, always with excuses, Ernest. Well, since you're here, I suppose you can stay for a while. It's not much, but it's home.
Let's investigate.
Excuse the mess. I haven't had time to clean things up.
It's like a teenager's bedroom. We could help you clean up.
No, I'll get to it later.
So, never?
No comment.
Let's see. Looks like the orphanage's ledger. Expenses for last month were 15,000 alms, and he paid them all on time. I bet I can learn a thing or two about record keeping. Better write this down before I get caught snooping. A ledger of the orphanage's expenses from last month, totaling 15,000 alms, all of which are paid for on time. Painting looks familiar. Oh, Chandra had the same painting in her room. Hey, Bill, where'd you get this?
It was a gift from the Eubanks. I had some cheesy line attached to it. With hard work and diligence, anyone can soar to great heights.
Probably this is coming from a family born from wealth. It's like someone stuffed the food with food, wondering how anyone could go hungry.
Tone deaf as it seems, that's inspiring for the kids. I, for one, would like to think we live in a world where that's true.
I guess this explains why it's mass-produced. Maybe Chandra keeps to be in her room for the same reason. That's a nice-looking TV.
It was a part of the motel before I moved in. There's one just like it in every room.
Must be tough getting the kids to focus on homework with those TVs around.
That's what I thought, but that's on them is public access. All that's on them is public access to the news. Turns out the landlady's family never paid for more than the most basic cable package.
Now I feel bad for them. You got a lot of sticky notes here. You're called sticky notes for a reason. He's been stuck to them for his entire life.
It's a small price to pay in order to keep track of everything.
You got receipts here from last month. Talk about organized. I don't remember the last time I kept a receipt for something.
Whenever Meg or I order anything, I keep the receipts for at least 3 months.
Looks like she ordered brakes at 1:15 p.m. on the day of the accident. I better write that down. For car brakes purchased by Meg at 1:15 p.m. on the day of the crash, the brakes were ordered for pickup at the local auto parts store. Leaving the trash on the floor, even my teenage room was cleaner than this. Wait, what's this? Red line insurance.
Just throw it in a trash can, it's worthless.
Isn't insurance important?
It's who I get my car insurance from. They refused my claim for repairs after the crash.
Why? It's not your fault.
Try telling them that. They used every trick in the book to make it seem like I was irresponsible. So I gave up. I have kids to take care of and other life obligations. I don't have time to fight a claim like this. But you shouldn't give up. It's your car. Unfortunately, that's how they get you. Wear you down till it's too much of a hassle to keep going. If you're a red line, might as well be running an organized crime ring. Doesn't matter anyway. I was able to get the money together to repair the car myself. I feel bad for Bill. I hope he can settle this soon. I should even know this letter. A letter for Bill's insurance company disputing his claim for damages on the car. Yeah, it's a spinny chair. We have some in the office, but this one looks way more cozy. If you have to sit in a chair all day, you need something good to support your back. This is the best investment in my life. Hey, detective, you think Sue can get us these chairs? Oh, I think that would require you to stay at your desk for more than an hour. Well, it was worth a shot. Can I go outside? You and Bill seem pretty close. Do you see him often? From time to time when I get a chance. We're as close as we used to be. One of the things of being older is that you see your friends less. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I met my old friends from high school. Maybe I should get you together with them again. In any case, how come you never decided to help solve this case sooner? You seem like the type of guy to move mountains for your friends. I think Barbie just forgot it was a crime. To me, it was an accident. Bill walked away from his car alive, and that's what matters most. Remember, this is Detective Swift's case to solve, not ours. Like Sue told us before, this is just our cover. Cover or not, I can't leave this unsolved. Maybe I should talk to Sophie. Alright. Oh, I forgot to actually talk to him. Oh, okay. Okay, let's go top down. I want to ask, why open an orphanage in a motel? It's so unusual. It is, but it's an important location. So then Walkness is about Whitehall Academy and the Church of the First Lotus. Providing good academic and spiritual education took priority over anything else. Whitehall Academy is a pretty prestigious school, the best one in the city. It admits all grades. Plus, it's free for anyone who passes a rigorous entrance exam. And all the children go there? Yep, I created this orphanage specifically for children who could attend Whitehall. When I met brilliant children like Megan, I wanted to provide that opportunity for them. Any child with the aptitude could come and stay here. Why is an orphanage just to be close to a school? Can't the kids just live wherever and still go to Whitehall? In theory, yes. In practice, no. Before coming here, some of the kids lived over an hour away, excluding traffic. The time adds up, and most would rather go to a closer school. To them, school is school, each one the same. But it's not. Where you learn impacts your whole life. Bill speaks from experience. He lived outside the city, but still showed up early every day. Looks like he slept at the school. Unlike you, practically ran to class right before the bell rang. Every single day. Hey, it still got perfect attendance. But if anyone knows the importance of a short commute, it'd be him. It may seem small, but for those kids, it gives them time I wish I had. In any case, there's only a place I could get, so I buckled down and got it. It seemed crazy at first, but we made it work. Landlady can give you more details. She's in her office today. She didn't mean it right now, but knowing you, you won't let that stop you. When you want to head there, Miss Assistant, let me know. Alrighty. Meg's ambition. Why are you so against Meg being a mechanic? Sounds to me like she found her passion in life. She's capable of so much more. Her grades prove it. She could end the best college in the city. But instead she wants to work on cars all day. She really found her passion because of this chance he gave her. Isn't that a success? You know, my parents are pretty adamant that I go to art school when I graduated. They're both artists, so it made sense to them. They thought I had a lot of potential for it. I didn't want to disappoint them, so I did it. I like art and learned a lot, but ultimately it wasn't for me. And now, I'll have to show her as a degree I'll never use. My actual job is the furthest thing from art you can get. If you push Meg to go to college for something she doesn't want any drive for, she'll end up wasting her time. Time she could be spent pursuing her true dream. I suppose you have a point. I'll give her some thought. Why do you ask the police to drop the case? Nobody wants to catch the person who caused it? To tell you the truth, I already know who did it. You do? I thought... Bill, if Swift says the kid didn't do it, he didn't do it. Hold on, what kid? Just some kid from the area. He went to school with Meg and graduated last year. When a rumor went around about the crash, he took credit for the thing. And you're only saying this now? Why would he want him arrested? Detective Swift already looked into him. He's nothing more than a graffiti artist. If he says he did it, he did it. But nevertheless, a lot of employers turn down people with a criminal record, no matter how small. I don't want to ruin the kid's life. If he didn't actually do it, then why take credit for it? How about we find out? So we wrote down where he hangs out. Let's go pay him a visit. Alright, we got another new location. I don't know that so many kids are capable of going to such a fancy school. I certainly couldn't. My childhood was spent struggling for a passing grade. There's a lot of children that, because of their circumstances, they can't live up to their true potential. Orphan children in particular are pretty vulnerable to being ignored by the system. People don't think much about education for these kids. They think all they need to do is wait until they're adopted, thinking about what happens if they aren't. And that's why I fight against being a traditional orphanage. I want to break that stereotype. They all deserve a bright future and I intend to give it to them. Now I feel bad for the kids who can't make it in. You're not alone, but Whitehall thankfully offers tests for all grades year round. So they fail once, they can only try again the next time. The Klaus Orphanage may seem strange. There are few places with such lofty goals. I hope one day this place becomes standard, not the exception. I hope so too. Why was upset about the robbery? This place means so much to him. Alright, church. Show the First Lotus. I forgot the church or First Lotus was near here. My parents often used to take me there when I was younger. Getting the kids to attend is the hardest part. Most of them want to avoid coming if they can. I say let them choose if they want to or not. You're wasting your time if you force them. Are you not religious, sir? Wish I don't get along. I expect Errol, faithful, but won't see me step inside a church willingly. But God can afford to have one less faithful among them. You shouldn't say that. Your next life might be a flower of beef if you're not careful. Parents never joined us for church when we were younger. If he starts now, the best he'll get is the fish. I have to take my chances. Just promise if you see a handsome fish in your next life, you won't eat it. Alright. I know it's kind of a short stream, but my voice is kind of getting a little hoarse, so I'm just gonna call in and get some vocal rest. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll be back with Broken Sword. But I'm definitely gonna continue streaming this game next Tuesday. Let's see. Oh my god, Rye is playing Crab Champions. Let's go raid Rye. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna rest my voice. I'll hope to see y'all later. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you for the resub, by the way, Zayon.